Win the ultimate baseball fan experience at Century Foods.
You either get to throw out the first pitch, hold the finish line for the famous racing sausages, or be on the field during batting practice. My new TV!
Just doing a little batting practice of my own.
The ultimate baseball fan experience. Return the entry form found in the weekly ad to any Century by July 24th.
Breaking news as it happens. Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 6 o'clock. I'm Vince Vitrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News, Wednesday, July 24th. Our top story, the president prepares to address the nation.
I'm Erik Bilstad. This after a record crowd greets the VP in West Allis.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Everything's looking great right now across the whole system. No delays and no major incidents up on the board. That's your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic.
Mostly sunny today. Chance this afternoon or evening of a shower mixed in there with a high of 75 degrees. Mainly clear and cooler tonight with a low down to 62. Right now it's 67 in Milwaukee. And from the WTMJ breaking news, President Biden expected to address the nation tonight from the Oval Office. It'll be his first public remark since he's announced Sunday that he would drop out of the 2024 race. CBS News Chief White House Correspondent Nancy Cordes.
One of his goals that we know he'll mention is to secure the release of as many as 8 American Israeli hostages who have been held by Hamas for 290 days now. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu met with hostage families here in D.C., and he insisted to them that conditions for a hostage deal are improving. But the families pushed him to accept the ceasefire deal that Biden has already laid out.
WTMJ will carry ABC News coverage of the speech at 7 p.m. tonight.
You know, it's a big deal when Governor Evers says this after Vice President Kamala Harris starts her presidential bid in West Allis.
I am jazzed as hell to be welcoming
our state yet again on the worldwide stage 2 weeks in a row.
Energized supporters stood for the VP's entire speech and held newly printed Kamala signs. VP Kamala Harris told the crowd for Wisconsin to turn blue, she must have a big turnout in Milwaukee. The message each speaker kept hammering is that Harris is a prosecutor and the former president, Donald Trump, is the prosecuted.
I know Donald Trump's type.
An offensive approach to her campaign to start, with 104 days left to Election Day. Julia Fellow, WTMJ News.
Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson at the airport to greet the vice president as she landed, his wife and 2 daughters by his side.
With white dresses on and their hair up in bows, twins Madison and Bella Johnson met Vice President Kamala Harris for the very first time.
I mean, just imagine what this will do, even though they may not realize it now, for my 2 daughters who are 6 years old.
Harris is the first woman, black person, and person of South Asian descent to serve as VP. If she wins the election in November, she becomes the first female president here in the U.S. That's not lost to Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson.
Growing up, it was difficult for us to imagine somebody who looked like us, quite frankly, an African-American, a person of color, or a woman even, to be in the position to assume the presidency.
Jessica Tai, WTMJ News.
The RNC may be over in Milwaukee, but the Common Council wants to hear about its effects in 3 key areas.
The first Common Council file directly addresses Milwaukee Police and the Fire and Police Commission. It asks about the fatal shooting of a 42-year-old Milwaukee man near the soft security perimeter by officers from Columbus, Ohio. Another communication file seeks information about RNC-related arrests, police contacts, and ticketed violations, statistics that MPD often releases after large community events. The third file asks officials from Visit Milwaukee and the administration of Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson if disadvantaged and emerging businesses saw just as much economic activity as those within the security zone. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Milwaukee Police Chief Jeffrey Norman took the next steps in the interview process to become the police chief of Austin, Texas. Norman, a Milwaukee resident all his life, 28-year vet of the MPD, participated in a public interview and meet and greet in Austin. He's one of 2 finalists now for that position.
A man from Milwaukee in custody after apparently trying to avoid prison time by fleeing to Ireland. FBI initially arrested 56-year-old Paul Kovacic from Milwaukee in June of 2022, accused of joining the attack on the U.S. Capitol on January 6th. He was sentenced to 3 months behind bars after pleading guilty to misdemeanor demonstrating in a Capitol building and then fled to Ireland requesting asylum. He returned to the U.S. in June after dropping his asylum claim. He is currently serving out his sentence in a federal prison in Chicago.
Coming up, running for cover at a major American tourist destination.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:04.
This report is sponsored by Diamonds Direct. Your love, their passion.
You're not going to want to miss this. Diamonds Direct summer sale starts this weekend. For 3 days only, this Friday through Sunday, get 20% off rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, and more. Plus, book an appointment and get an additional $100 off. And designers are flying in from New York and LA to showcase their latest trends. That's 20% off, plus $100 off with an appointment and designer trunk shows. Tons of engagement rings on sale too. 20% off starts Friday. Details at diamondsdirect.com. 3 days only and Sunday.
Hey, it's WTMJ, Steve's Committee for Universal Windows Direct. For every 2 windows you buy, get 2 free. Buy 2, get 2. Buy 4, get 4. Call 414-410-2000. Schedule your free in-home estimate today. For every 2 windows you buy, get the next 2 free, plus 0% financing for 60 months, 5 years. Restrictions apply. Tell them I told you to call. Get an additional $250 off your project for the last windows you'll ever need. Go to uwd.com. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Market volatility, global issues, inflation, still. More than a few headwinds this year. That's probably why Americans feel uncertain about their financial futures. Boomers, not much room for error. Gen X might need more than a 401k. And for millennials, it's time to get real about saving and investing. Talk to Annex Wealth Management. Build security with a partner on your side for unbiased advice. You may need more than investments. That's why Annex delivers tax and estate planning. There's an Annex plan personalized for you. Click the Get Started button at AnnexWealth.com.
Hey, John Mercure here. CertaPro Painters are the best in the business. I know they did my house, and it looks fantastic. Worry-free. Start with a free estimate. It's CertaPro Painters. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated right here, interior or exterior for your home or your business. They're quick. They're easy. They're affordable. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. They're the real deal. I trust them at my house. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
Fleet Farm's got everything you need for everyday life. Brands from Carhartt to Milwaukee to Purina to Goodyear to Rapala to Levi's and a whole lot more. In-store or online, check out all the brands Fleet Farm carries to help make your everyday life better.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:07.
Weather should be better for Packers practice today.
Could it get worse?
In an absolute monsoon Tuesday, and we'll update the situation with quarterback Jordan Love. That's in sports at 6:15.
The search is on for a suspect who engaged in a police chase and fired shots at them in Baraboo. This is in south central Wisconsin. One officer injured in this situation. Sauk County Sheriff's Department asking residents to avoid an area in Baraboo that's near Water in Manchester because of an active law enforcement situation.
Latest issue to plague Waupun Correctional Institution. It's drinking water. Video from an inmate inside the prison obtained by TMJ4 News shows yellowish brown water pouring from the tap.
It looks disgusting. It almost looks like wastewater.
That's the mayor in Waupun, Ron Bishop. He says, of all the issues in the prison, it's water quality that should be the easiest to solve. Wisconsin Department of Corrections recently issued warnings for high radium levels in the prison's well water. DOC said in a statement they're working with the DNR to address it.
It's being called a rare hydrothermal explosion. Underground water suddenly turns to steam, sending tourists running for cover. This happened at Yellowstone National Park. ABC's Rand Ally.
A geyser in the area known as Biscuit Basin exploding.
Boulders, rocks falling all over us.
Sending a plume of steam, rocks, and debris into the sky.
We kind of went into fight or flight mode.
As panicked tourists fled.
We grabbed our kids, started running.
Officials say no one was injured, but the boardwalk used by parkgoers is completely destroyed.
Park officials say Biscuit Basin has only recorded instances like this 3 different times. I don't know if you can see this video of it exploding there. There's how it sounds. Oh. Can you see that?
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like a bomb goes off.
That don't look right.
People start running.
Because that water's super hot.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, and they don't, at first,
if you get spray.
At first, you don't really realize it. You don't expect it to be that. I mean, It's enormous, that explosion.
Indication that the supervolcano is ready to blow?
Oh, that's right. Supervolcano. I forgot about that.
We're doomed. 6:09 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Traffic is brought to you by James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner. Visit jamesimaging.com.
Michael Quizon is the IT Systems Administrator at Great Midwest Bank.
Before switching to document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems, they had a printer problem.
We talked to James Imaging. We said, we need to take down the number of printers that we have. What can we do?
The experts at James Imaging Systems researched their printing process, overall workflow, costs, supplies.
So we went from probably 120, 130 printers down to 50 some odd printers.
And
our cost from supplies perspective went down. I mean, we're talking about thousands in a year. So we saved a lot of money by bringing James Imaging on.
Michael, the benefit as the bank's IT systems administrator?
I don't have to deal with printers. One less thing on my plate.
Anything to add about your experience?
In terms of James Imaging, they've been a great partner.
Switch to document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems. Call 262-781-7700. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Traffic is sponsored by Seton Fun Fest this weekend at St. Elizabeth and Seton, 127th and Howard in New Berlin. Seton Fun Fest is one of the most affordable church festivals of the summer. 4 bands, great food, kids games, and jump yards. Grounds open at 5 p.m. this Friday in New Berlin.
Checking in with Debbie here at 610.
We're looking good right now. No major issues, no delays. Volume's relatively light out there. One broken down vehicle on northbound 94, right about at the airport spur, but it is, again, out of traffic, not causing an issue. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast.
Mostly sunny today. Chance of a shower this afternoon. High of 75 degrees. Low down to 62 tonight. And then some mostly sunny weather. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, all mostly sunny with temperatures in the mid to upper 70s and low 80s. Sunday, partly cloudy and warm with a slight chance of a shower in the afternoon and a high of 85. Right now, 67 in Milwaukee.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's Erik, Bilstad, and Vince Vitrano.
President Biden this morning back at the White House due to address the nation tonight.
Why did you drop out of the election?
A reporter shouting that question to the president. He boarded Air Force One to return after COVID isolation in Delaware. Speech tonight expected to address that very question. ABC News senior White House correspondent Selena Wang.
This speech is going to be about his decision to drop out of this race and why he did that, as well as his plans for the rest of his term. A source close to the president tells me that he's been working on this speech for the past day and huddling with his speechwriting team at the White House. I'm told that this speech is going to be emotional and coming from the president's heart.
You expect the president to publicly offer as well as endorsement of Vice President Kamala Harris, but an address to the nation typically can't be a campaign speech, so he may have to tread lightly there. We will carry ABC News coverage of the president's address this evening, 7 p.m. here on WTMJ.
Most historic speech in his presidency? Is that tonight, you think?
It might be, right? How about that?
It comes a day after Kamala Harris was in West Dallas.
Wisconsin, I am told as of this morning that we have earned the support of enough delegates to secure the Democratic nomination.
You knew it was a big deal when Governor Evers did the intro.
On the Tony Evers excitement scale that goes from holy mackerel and maxes out at heck yes, I am jazzed as hell to be welcoming.
I'm unclear where that is on the scale, though. Is that like a new level? Is it higher than heck yes?
It actually worked out very well. This was scheduled last week for her to be here in the area. And, of course, Wisconsin's going to matter come November.
The path to the White House goes through Wisconsin.
There were about 3,000 people on hand for that event in West Dallas, and we're told that that was the largest campaign event in the Biden-Harris era so far in this campaign run.
And ABC News reporting the vice president will skip today's address to Congress by Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, though she is planning to meet with him privately. He's got a long list of appointments.
Call it a BB Blitz. After speaking to a joint meeting of Congress today, the Israeli Prime Minister will meet with President Biden at the White House tomorrow and travel to Mar-a-Lago Friday to meet with former President Trump. We're told Vice President Harris will also sit with Netanyahu at some point. Security for his speech to lawmakers today will be extremely tight, with police officers from as far away as New York heading down here to Washington to assist Capitol Police.
ABC's Stephen Portnoy reporting there. Netanyahu earlier this week did meet with families of Israeli Americans whose loved ones are still being held hostage by Hamas. Sports up next, 6:14 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Cheese doodles, Mr. Nougat Bar. Oh, here we go. 4-door hatchback.
Some things are fine to buy from a vending machine, but a car's not one of them. That national online company makes it seem convenient, but it won't be so convenient if you have a problem with the vehicle you buy. And if it's after 7 days, good luck. Adam member dealers also let you search online, plus test drive the vehicle before you buy it. And they're right here to handle any issues.
What? The car's stuck. No!
Start your search at adamm.com.
How about this forecast for mid to late July? Temperatures topping out on Sunday at a high of 85 degrees. That's the highest temp I got on the board. Time to get your air conditioner checked now before it breaks down on you in the middle of the summer cooling season. And I've got your HVAC guy. It's your Comfort Guys. Absolute Comfort, HVAC, and Electrical. It's Nicole and Brent over there, family-owned company, Absolute Comfort, HVAC, and Electrical. Brent's son Drew does a lot of the work as well. He was the one who came out and serviced my air conditioner unit in the spring. Came in, cleaned everything out, got the unit running efficiently, and it's less expensive now to cool the home. And on top of that, I know it's going to take me through the summer. If you need them in an emergency, they're there for you as well. I've got your HVAC guy. It's Your Comfort Guys, 262-664-9284, yourcomfortguys.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Erik Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
Another sloppy game at times for the Crew on Tuesday night, but a win is a win. Yes, the Brewers get a W, 1-0. The final thanks to good pitching and a Bryce Terang RBI single in the eighth.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. Ground ball to second base. Big hop for Terang. Tosses to first in time. And the Brewers have shut out the Cubs. And even this series had a game apiece.
So the difference, of course, 1 run, but it was kind of sloppy at the plate again. Pat Murphy calling some of the bats. Well, I'll play it for you.
I'd say ill-advised. Another ill-advised decision. Ill-advised. The 3-0 bunt, ill-advised. Churio going to second with no outs, ill-advised.
So what did you pick out of that?
We need to save that drop. That's ill-advised.
But he called it a great win because they battled through. He also said there were a lot of teachable moments. In fact, the Journal-Sentinel says at one point after the game, he gathered all the young players together and said, hey, look, and walk through some of this stuff because it was so, well, I'll let him tell it.
I'd say ill-advised.
Yep. The game was delayed 90 minutes because of rain. They're back at it real quick today. 1:21 pitch. It's a rubber game. Our game starts right here at WTMJ pregame-wise at 12:50. By the way, keep an eye on Christian Yelich. Curious to see if he'll be in the lineup today. They pulled him out of the game in the eighth. His back starting to act up.
Not with the back tightness again.
We'll see.
Love Watch continues this morning in Green Bay. Packers continue training camp. Quarterback Jordan Love not practicing with the team till he gets a new contract. Packers head coach Matt LaFleur asked about it before practice on Tuesday.
Any change on Jordan? Nah, no updates there.
Did you catch that?
All right.
Matt, any change on Jordan?
Any change on Jordan? Nah, no updates there.
Alrighty then.
I mean, he has to know he's going to be asked.
Right, that's it. I mean, even if you don't have anything to offer, can you handle the question a little?
Yeah, come on.
I can't believe you've asked that. Another moment that kind of hit me interesting in LaFleur's about 10 minutes of remarks with reporters. Asked your basic training camp type stuff. I mean, it's day 2, right?
We're talking about practice.
Yeah, so he's talking about, how are guys getting better?
Just getting all 11, whether it's on offense, defense, or on defense, finishing to the ball. And
hang on. Say what now?
Offense, defense, or on defense.
What the hell is defense?
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. Anyway, offense, defense, defense, special teams, open to the public practice this morning.
I love it.
10:30 and then a day off tomorrow.
By the way, there's some Packers news rumbling online. Is it possible they will have an alternate helmet this season? Lots of the blogs doing this. PackersWire.com has this. Also, the Acme Packing Company has it. A white alternate helmet. And where they're getting this from is a teaser video from Madden 25, the latest football season from Madden, of course. They got
the video game.
Yes. And because there's a little clip halfway through the video that shows them wearing white helmets.
Yeah, in the video game. How does that have any legitimate, is that actually being discussed?
Yes. Paul Lucas of Unawatch reported that the Packers would be adding a white helmet. He did that earlier in the season, earlier in the offseason. Detective work from acmepacking.com. Also, Packers Wire. We have it on our website if you want to take a look
it?
at it. Yeah, just text the word helmet to the WTMJ Talk and Text line 855-616-1620. Helmet.
It's a bird. It's a plane. No, for real. It's a plane. Wisconsin's Afternoon News is live at EAA AirVenture in Oshkosh. John Mercure here.
And Julia Fellow here. We hit the road Friday, July 26th to join aviation enthusiasts from around the world to experience the air shows, workshops, and all that the event has to offer.
Tune in from 3 to 6 p.m. on July 26th for Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
Live at EAA Oshkosh on News Radio 620 WTMJ.
A lot of people already texting in helmet to see the White Packers helmet. You know what the response is going to be? You want to just guess?
I'd say ill-advised.
I might.
Anyway.
That one's going to have legs, the ill-advised.
WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here for Tri-County Contracting. Do you need to get new siding on your house this year? But you have some concerns, like where do you even start? Where do you go? What kind of siding do you need? Are there different types? Yes, there are a million different types. And the way you can walk through this without any hassles, Tri-County Contracting. Their showroom in New Berlin has all the different kinds of vinyl siding. The LP Smart side, it's all on display. Plus, you can go to the website too, TriCountyContractingWI.com. You'll cut out the painting costs of your life. You'll figure this out with Tri-County Contracting leading the way and leading you through it. Worry-free roofing, siding, and windows, TriCountyContractingWI.com.
When severe weather hits and the power goes out, do you have a plan? For reliable power and peace of mind, propane can do that. It only takes about 10 seconds for a propane-powered generator to restore power to your home. So no matter what Mother Nature has in store, you know you're prepared. Learn more at WIPGA.org. This message is sponsored by your local propane provider and the Wisconsin Propane Education and Research Council.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. Guthrie and Fry protects the water in my house. Guthrie and Fry has provided expert advice, quality service, and reliable water since 1974. Owners Sue and Rob are well known and very generous in the local community for supporting great causes that change lives. We've got their water softener. We've got their reverse osmosis system. Our water is crisp, clean, and clear. GFwater.com. It's Guthrie and Fry.
Better water makes a big difference. Guthrie and Fry.
From removing unwanted clutter or junk to full-service residential or commercial cleanouts, get a free same-day estimate at twomenandajuncktruck.com. Keep what you love, ditch what you don't.
All right, Debbie Lazga, how are those roads looking?
Looking pretty good right now. We really don't have too many delays. It's starting to get a little bit heavier on westbound 894 through that construction zone between 27th and 68th, but overall, everything is actually looking pretty good. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Traffic sponsored by Two Men and a Junk Truck. Keep what you love, ditch what you don't. As for your forecast today, sponsored by Dave Drake Hemp Heating. Your comfort is their family's tradition. Sunny early on. There's a slight chance for a shower later, a high of 75. Tonight, clear and cooler, a low of 62. Thursday, sunny, 76. Friday, sunny, 80. Right now in Milwaukee, 623.
EAA AirVenture continues this morning, runs through the weekend in Oshkosh. A lot of attention, of course, on the daily air shows, but so much to learn about the past and the future of air travel. This is Nerd Super Bowl, right? And for Michael Vincent of NASA, it's the best week ever.
This is my favorite week of the year. So I am an airplane nerd. I'm a pilot. I've loved aviation my whole life, and so being at EAA and talking to the flying public is fun.
So I talked with Vincent, who is an associate project manager for system-wide safety at NASA. He's at a Langley Research Center in Virginia. NASA has a huge tent there at EAA with their experts available to talk and just answer questions.
Did you tell them you went to space camp?
I almost thought about it, and I was with my son, and I didn't want to embarrass him. I'm like, "Hi, good to see you all again. You probably remember me, right?" Nerds! We forget sometimes, the second word in the NASA acronym is aeronautics. They don't just put people in space. They do a ton of research about flight in general. So I wanted to know about a couple of projects NASA's working on that apply to consumer air travel, things that will affect us in our lifetime. When do I get to fly in more stuff as a consumer?
Well, I think it's starting to happen now. It's not going to happen overnight. The biggest hurdle that we see is safety going forward. Because if you step inside an aircraft, the expectation from the public is that you have a high level of safety.
So when do I get, flying cars? We talk about that all the time. When do you have flying cars? When do you have this other stuff? Well, he's saying okay, but once you put something in the air, there's a different expectation, this level of safety. And that's the primary barrier to a lot of the advancements. NASA is working to develop technology that could be used for air taxis, for example. So like an Uber of the skies, super drone technology that might one day be used either to have automated or piloted aircraft, pick you up instead of a car. Closer than you may think.
So if you're talking about autonomous flying vehicles in the national airspace and widespread adoption, I would say you're looking at a 15 to 20 year time frame. But for something that has a lower level of autonomy, where the aircraft needs more input from a pilot, you're looking at a little bit shorter time frame.
Okay, so within a couple of decades.
Okay.
Something
within a
picking
lifetime?
you up in the air. Sure. Other thing, supersonic flight. It's been 20 years since the Concorde was flying, a luxury supersonic commercial aircraft that made the flight from New York to London in under 3 hours. It was very expensive, super inefficient, and it was super loud. That's the Concorde on takeoff. That's not a fighter jet. So imagine that at Milwaukee Mitchell all day in and out, right? All of southeast Wisconsin have your ears ringing.
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
Right? Plus, there's another problem. The sonic boom, the Concorde breaking the sound barrier. It's a problem and a barrier to re-commercializing supersonic flight for the airlines. So NASA's X-59 project endeavors to fix that.
It's happening now. There's companies that are building a supersonic transports, and they're just going to sell it to the airlines. And what we're doing with our supersonic aircraft is looking at what the noise levels need to be for that, because these aircraft are going to generate sonic booms, and we need to know what's really acceptable to a widespread swath of the public.
Michael Vincent with NASA again. They're working to turn the sonic boom into a sonic thump, as they call it. How can they deafen that noise, take that moment and overall make these engines quieter so that you can take off from major airports and have it not be prohibitive? Talking with another woman from NASA, and this is the other cool part. She said we are making and will continue to make this technology open to the public. So when we discover things, we're going to share it with everyone so it can be applied to commercial aircraft. So these companies can benefit from the work that NASA has going right now. One of the many things you can see and learn about EAA Air Venture runs daily through Sunday, 18 and under, free admission. Gates open at 7 a.m. daily. Tonight, 8 p.m., one of the two night air shows. The other is coming up on Saturday. News about your money this morning. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average fell about 57 points to 40,358 in trading on Tuesday. The NASDAQ off about 10 to 17,997, and the S&P 500 closed at 5556. That was down just under 9 points. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
We all love Saturdays, but are they really all that rewarding? I mean, do you really feel rewarded after mowing the lawn or doing all your I gotta do this because today's the weekend whatevers? Well, Potawatomi wants your Saturdays to be the most rewarding ever with a share of $400,000 in cash and prizes. Just play this July for prize drawing entries. Win on Saturdays. Plus, each Potawatomi rewards level gets their own drawing. Rewarding Saturdays at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. For more details, visit paysbig.com/rewarding. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Big savings are here, thanks to Senator Dan Fine. He helped cut property taxes by $11 billion, making home ownership more affordable. That's not all. His efforts slashed income and franchise taxes by nearly $17 billion. Call 608-266-5300 and thank Senator Fine for keeping your money where it belongs, in your wallet. Remember, when your money's on the line, you can count on Senator Dan Fine. Paid for by the Wisconsin Realtors Advocacy Fund.
You wake up feeling like you just boxed 12 rounds. Some wake up sweating with sore jaws, headaches, and a lot of our patients complain of brain fog. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula, and these signs, often joined with snoring, are sleep apnea symptoms. And if this sounds like you may have been in a struggle last night between you and this serious disorder. Many people aren't willing to fight back. But the fact is, you can't go through these nightly struggles without ramifications that each night chip away at your life's expiration date. I get it. You don't want to wear a CPAP mask. You may find out you don't need one. We have every effective sleep apnea solution available. And believe me, the mask is the last resort.
Solving your breathing triangle problem can lead to better sleep and a better quality of life. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary.
Traffic is sponsored by the amazing Mineshaft Restaurant in downtown Hartford.
The successful Mineshaft Restaurant in Hartford is hiring positive, professional servers, bartenders, and pizza cooks. You'll make real cash. Inquire today and start next week. MineshaftRestaurant.com.
Well, it looks like we've got an issue. Eastbound 94 right about at 25th Street. We've got the left lane blocked with a broken down semi, so watch out for that. Otherwise, we're seeing some delays westbound 894 out of the Mitchell Interchange all the way to 68th Street. Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic.
Mostly sunny skies today. Chance this afternoon of a shower mixed in there with a high of 75 degrees. Tonight, mainly clear and cooler, low down to 62.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Two big speeches today in Washington. President Biden will address the nation tonight about his historic decision to step away from his re-election campaign. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu will address both houses of Congress about the war against Hamas. Protesters angry with the bombing of Gaza have been protesting in D.C. ahead of the speech. Delta Airlines customers still struggling to get back online after the CrowdStrike debacle.
Chaos and growing passenger outrage as Delta Airlines struggles to recover from that global IT outage. The major Delta flight disruptions now in their sixth day, leaving lots of passengers stranded at airports.
This is our fourth cancellation.
I just wish we'd given up and stayed home.
The U.S. Department of Transportation saying since Friday, Delta has canceled more than 6,000 flights. The airline now the subject of a federal investigation.
ABC's Faith Abube. Tennis star Coco Gauff will join LeBron James as a flag bearer for the Olympic team's Friday opening ceremony. This is ABC News.
Saudi Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:31.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the past 10 days we've had an attempted assassination of a former president, followed by the RNC held for the first time in Milwaukee, and yesterday, the first black female presumptive nominee for president chose her first rally to be in West Allis, Wisconsin.
A short but strong speech in the eyes of Kamala Harris supporters who know the chances of the VP becoming the first woman to be elected president of the United States rides on the shoulders of Wisconsin voters.
Wisconsin, today I ask you, are you ready to get to work?
We asked delegate and Milwaukee County Executive David Crawley if the delegate numbers she has right now will hold.
You know, anytime we went to the convention as Democrats, there's always been some level of contention. I truly believe that Democrats are going to be rallying around Kamala Harris.
Julia Fellow, WTMJ News.
The VP's visit to West Allis breaking a record, more than 3,000 attendees. That's the largest event the campaign's held through this cycle so far.
Search continues this morning for a suspect who engaged police in a chase and fired shots at officers. One officer injured near Baraboo, South Central Wisconsin. Sauk County Sheriff's Department asking folks in that area to avoid it and to shelter in place.
An update to a story we've been following this week. The Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office is asking for the public's help now in the investigation of a deadly shooting that killed a 17-year-old girl and left 9 others injured in Deneen Park. This is on the northwest side. Happened over the weekend during a car party. The Sheriff's Office asking that anyone with information about that incident, particularly cell phone video, come forward. They are calling it a multi-shooter incident.
Brown drinking water at a prison in Wisconsin. Video from an inmate at Waupun Correctional obtained by TMJ4 News shows discolored tap water coming from the faucet in an inmate's cell. That inmate says it takes 5 to 10 minutes for the water to clear up. The mayor there in Waupun, Ron Bishop, says it's a problem.
The easiest one to solve. That's why it's the most frustrating. The prisoners who live in there, and I know a lot of people will say, well, they're prisoners, they're in there for a reason, and there's truth to that. I'm not some bleeding heart that thinks that the prisoners should be treated special, but they shouldn't be given water that's bad.
The Department of Corrections says they're working on building a new water treatment plant at a cost of $7.4 million.
The United Performing Arts Fund has a new CEO. Anne-Marie Scobie-Palachek will begin at UPAF on September 3rd. She succeeds Patrick Ruth, who stepped down from the post in March.
Coming up, airlines struggling to get back up to speed. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:34.
This report sponsored by Pella of Wisconsin. Discover Pella now, pay later at PellaWI.com.
Wow, Wayne, that is a beautiful window.
It sure is, Jeff. It really tackles energy efficiency.
Sure has a nice slide.
It's one of the best screenplays I've ever seen.
They're so easy to close. I'd say it's a grand slam.
If you guys keep making those dad jokes, you're going to be a real pain in my neck.
Oh, that's a good one. Did you hear about this one?
Well, those two go on and on. Let me share something that is not a joke. Order today from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and pay as low as $18 per window and $81 per patio door per month. The installation is completed with no mess and no hassle, leaving nothing but perfect results. A new patio door or front door makes for the perfect backstop. How was that one, guys? Ugh, they're gone. Jeff and Wayne love doing the Irish goodbye. Anyway, moving on from the dad jokes, don't miss this great deal from Pella. Get as low as $18 per window and $81 per patio door per month. Visit PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply at 7/31/2024.
You're not going to want to miss this. Diamonds Direct summer sale starts this weekend. For 3 days only, this Friday through Sunday, get 20% off rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, and more. Plus, book an appointment and get an additional $100 off. And designers are flying in from New York and LA to showcase their latest trends. That's 20% off, plus $100 off with an appointment and designer trunk shows. Tons of engagement rings on sale too. 20% off starts Friday. Details at diamondsdirect.com. 3 days only and Sunday.
It's Heiser's Red, White, and Blue event. Service or upgrade your ride today with star-spangled discounts you deserve. Let our certified technicians get your current ride road trip ready for July festivities. Or work with our sales consultants to find the perfect new vehicle for all your summer destinations. Plus, enjoy our exclusive Safe and Sound program with every vehicle sale. See details and offers at Heiser.com and celebrate your independence today. At Heiser, today's your day.
See dealer for complete details.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:36.
Afternoon baseball in Chicago. We'll look ahead to the Brewers and Cubs at 6:45.
My flight, it got canceled at 2 p.m., got put back on time, delayed, and I showed up to the gate and it got canceled again.
Still trouble following what happened last week, Friday's global IT meltdown. Now, most of the airlines are back to normal. Delta canceling another 500 flights, though, on Tuesday alone, struggling to get through and struggling to recover.
People being on hold for hours and hours trying to get a new flight, people having to sleep on airport floors, even accounts of unaccompanied minors being stranded in airports, unable to get on a flight.
That's not good when you got minors just trying to be shipped from one place to another. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg there says he doesn't like what he's hearing. He says there are too many problems to ignore what's happening with Delta.
We informed Delta today that DOT is launching an investigation into the breakdown of operations.
Yeah, the big question, how can it take you this long to recover?
If everybody else is largely back up online, they're obviously still dealing with ripple effects. But, yeah, what gives?
I mean, it's 5 days now since this cancellation. Remember, this deals with that IT meltdown that occurred. The CrowdStrike CEO will be testifying before Congress at some point because of that as well, and I'm sure he will receive a tongue lashing.
Which is what we do, right? Find the guy at the top and scream at him.
Yell at that guy.
6:38, Wisconsin's Morning News.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
You know, the way the summer is flying by, you'd think you'd be out of time to get a really good deal on a car. Hi, everybody. Debbie Lazaga here, and I say nay. There's still time. It's still summer of excitement at Hall Volkswagen, especially if you're looking for a good deal on a 2024 redesigned VW Atlas. This thing is gorgeous. It is comfortable, and it has space for up to 7 passengers, plus all the stuff that goes along with all of your summer adventures. Volkswagen has the IQ drive safety enhancing technology, and it's standard in that VW Atlas, too. Check it out for yourself. Head over to Brookfield, right on Blue Mound Road, and stop at Hall Volkswagen. You can ask them all your questions. At Hall Volkswagen, it's all good.
Hey, WTMJ's John Merck here. If you're like me, your home is your happy place, and you spend a lot of time there, and this may have renewed your focus on home projects, let me tell you the company you need to work with. It's the company I trust, CertaPro Painters. Each business is independently owned and operated right here. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. They did the work in our house. Absolutely fantastic. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy, choose CertaPro Painters. Exterior painting still getting booked for the summer. Work with CertaPro Painters.
Join an unforgettable weekend of summer fun when the Brewers play the Marlins July 26th through the 28th. Be here for Yacht Rock Night on Friday and a Hawaiian shirt giveaway Saturday. Get your seats at Brewers.com.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Social Security benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback. Unable to work due to health problems? Let Tayback help you get approved for the Social Security benefits you're entitled to. Call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
20 to 7. Good morning, Debbie.
Good morning. Everything seems to be moving along pretty well. Where we are seeing the exception is on westbound 894. As per usual, delays from 20th Street all the way out to 68th through that construction zone. Rest of the system's actually looking pretty good. And that disabled semi on eastbound 94 at 25th Street, that's gone. That's been taken off the freeway. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for today, a lot more sunshine after that cold front passed through overnight. A slight chance of an afternoon shower near the lake breeze. Otherwise, most of us stay dry, high temperatures in the mid-70s. It's mainly clear tonight, lows around 62, mostly sunny for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, with highs gradually increasing from the mid-70s into the low 80s. Partly cloudy and warm by Sunday, a slight chance of an afternoon shower with a high of 85. I'm meteorologist Brendan Johnson with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee at 67 degrees.
So you have the twins, and I have my oldest.
I do indeed have the twins.
And they're all the same age. They're all going into their senior year. How many college visits have you done so far?
The boy wants to stay in-state. He's done maybe half a dozen.
Okay.
My daughter, I guess, I mean, she's earned it. She's a good student and works hard, but has decided she wants to tour the nation. Twice they've gone to the Southeast. They were just in Arizona. She looked at ASU and University of Arizona. Like, hey, can you narrow this down before we get on an airplane?
We're kind of doing that, too. We got another trip coming next week. My boy's already been at, not that many, though. He's probably been at like a small handful, maybe 4 so far. So I feel like we're a little behind.
You're way behind the Vitranos.
The UW system may make this a little bit easier for you, though. So it's going to happen this summer. They announced this last year, the direct admissions program that UW is doing. So the whole system is going to send high school seniors a letter, and it's basically college acceptance letters before they even apply. And it's meant to perhaps recruit and make it easier for enrollment and make it for more enrollment. So they'll send a letter out to all high school seniors, or most, I should say, across the state, saying, hey, you're already accepted based on your GPA to this school, this school, this school, and that school. So
fantastic idea.
Oshkosh, Stout, UW Milwaukee. You get that letter already.
Now, there are a few not on there, right?
Correct.
That aren't doing this.
So
like Madison isn't.
Eau Claire is out, Madison is out, and La Crosse.
Okay.
And according to the state, every year each school, including those, will decide whether or not they want to be in this little program where they send this letter out. So we're expecting an update on this today. The president, Jay Rothman, is going to speak later today on the matter. Not sure what the update is going to be, but we would imagine those letters should be coming in the mail to upcoming seniors in the next few weeks.
I think that's a phenomenal idea. The University of Wisconsin system, and they've done a better job in recent years, I think, from outcry from parents and even lawmakers saying, like, this system should serve Wisconsin first. It's taxpayer supported, and we should serve our students first. It's great that we bring in international students or people from all over the country, and that's part of it.
Yeah.
But got to serve Wisconsin kids first.
And not unprecedented. There are a lot of other schools across the nation that do something similar to this. It would be nice if La Crosse and Eau Claire were part of it. I'm just saying.
Right, yeah. A little bit harder to get into, right? Those are the hot schools right now.
And it's not ACT scores or anything like that. It's just GPA. So you get a letter, your kid it'll say, hey, we'd love to have you at these schools, and it'll be one of the 10 that are on the list.
I'm sure we'll go visit all of those, too.
You'll have
in
to
the Vitrano
now.
house. 6:44, sports up next.
Our manager.
Yeah, we made a huge adjustment with the bases loaded.
Their manager.
He's a bum. He wants to go to Chicago. Fine. I'm glad you suck.
Our manager.
And I got emotional when he hit it because I'm just so freaking happy for him.
Their manager.
You're a traitor.
It's the Brewers headed to AmFam South to take on the Cubs. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts today at 12:45. We are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ.
Sorry for cussing.
Just in to see the docs at Connect Chiropractic for my 1-year reassessment. Now, maybe you've seen a chiropractor before. Oftentimes you go in, something's been hurting you or pinching. You go in for a few visits, things get feeling better, and then you don't go back anymore. That's not how it works at Connect Chiropractic. I'm trying to save all the progress that I've gained, my neck, my back, my shoulder even, feeling so much better. And now we're a year out, so we looked at all the x-rays, we did the readout on the nerve and muscle activity, tremendous progress, and now we've got a plan to keep things straightened out and feeling better in the year ahead. If you're dealing with chronic pain or any other health issues keeping you down, isn't it at least worth a shot? No twisting, no cracking, no popping. Special tool these docs use to make gentle and effective adjustments. You can find out more by booking your first appointment now. You do it all online. It's Go Connect Chiro. That's goconnectchiro.com.
Church and Chapel Funeral Homes. Family owned, family operated, family values. Church and Chapel Funeral Homes. There's one near you.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Erik Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
Similar game on Tuesday at Wrigley Field, but the outcome much, much better. The Brewers win 1-0 thanks to Bryce Terang.
1-2, line drive back up the middle and into center field for a base hit. Trotting home is Bowers. Bryce Terang delivers an RBI single, and the Brewers take a 1-0 lead.
They would ultimately win 1-0. Kind of sloppy again. Blame it on the youth a little bit, you could say, Pat Murphy.
I'd say ill-advised.
Yeah, he said there's a lot of things.
What was ill-advised
Ill-advised.
Exactly?
He said many of the at-bats were ill-advised. He did bring up Terang once, who tried to bunt on a 3-0, like just different things that he couldn't quite understand.
He found that to be ill-advised.
Churio did some things a little goofy, so did Garrett Mitchell. So he actually talked to the young club after the game saying, hey, lock in
Let's
here.
refocus here.
And sometimes, and he even said, sometimes we just got to tell the young player what to do. Just a reminder of that. Game was delayed because of rain. They're back at it this afternoon, 1:21 pitch. Rubber game, 12:45. Right here at WTMJ is our pregame. Don't know yet about Christian Yelich. Got to keep an eye on him. Back is starting to act up again. We'll see if he's in the lineup. Speaking of young players, the Brewers locked in 2 draft picks, Braylon Payne and Blake Burke.
I play like a little leaguer.
That's Blake Burke saying he plays like a little leaguer. So sometimes he kneels down in the outfield and looks at the dandelions.
Picks the grass.
Sometimes
yeah, right.
He pushes dirt around at second base.
Watching
makes
the
it
train
into
go by.
into a little pile.
Hey, center field.
Todd Rosiak from the Journal-Sentinel asked him to elaborate.
The little leaguer part, I take it that's the emotion you mean, like playing with excitement.
Yeah, I'm more mature playing wise. But I mean, the way I play, I try to play like a little.
Your exuberance for the game, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Welcome to the
Rosiak trying to help him. Like, hey, right now you're interviewing like a little leaguer as well, young man. Got to tighten that up. Packers on the practice field later this morning. Day 3 of the 2024 training camp.
We talking about practice.
Should be nicer weather today. You mentioned the rain that caused the delay in the Brewers game. Ryan Wood, Green Bay Press Gazette, up there posting video on social media of Tuesday's session. This is what he wrote. It's currently build an arc raining at Packers practice. The team is remaining outside for now. Turns out they stayed out there the whole time, pushed through it. Builds character, I guess.
Yeah, good for them.
Where's my Pat Murphy? I'd say ill-advised.
No, you got to work with that.
Defensive back and Packers number 2 draft pick, Javon Bullard, apparently standing out already in this young camp. ESPN Wisconsin's Jason Wilde, he's going to join us a little bit later. He's at training camp. Said Bullard told him he didn't want to get comfortable because when you get comfortable, you lose your job. Head coach Matt LaFleur liked hearing about that.
I didn't know he said that, but that fires me up. We want to make these guys comfortable being uncomfortable to get the most out of them.
That fires me up.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
LaFleur did say he is impressed with the rookies and the new guys that they appear to have come into this camp ready to go after the OTAs, after the mini camp.
What's been impressive about him, and it's not only him, a lot of guys coming back just the amount of recall that they've shown that to possess shows us that they stayed in their books throughout the course of the summer. And
stayed in their books, so like just didn't check out, went home and studied and know what they're doing. No update to offer on quarterback Jordan Love, who is still refusing to practice until he gets a new contract. He is at camp, participating in meetings and other activities, but he's not practicing.
Packers internet blowing up because of the possibility of an alternate helmet coming this year, an alternate road helmet. It's white. A white Packers helmet. If you'd like to see it, just text the word helmet to the WTMJ Talk and Text line, 855-616-1620. And so far, since we've told people about the helmet, there has been a theme to some of the text reactions.
I'd say ill-advised.
Nobody likes it?
It doesn't look like anyone likes it.
Producer note for Greg Hill. I'm going to need a Lord helmet drop from Spaceballs for future use. 6:49 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Welcome to the 2024 Wisconsin State Fair debate. Our panel will debate the hottest topics of the state fair. Gentlemen, what is the best way to eat a cream puff?
All he does is lick his fingers after touching the cream puff. The important part is you don't use a spoon if you're
All right, okay, this isn't getting anywhere.
There's no debate about it. Catch WTMJ as we broadcast live from the Bank 59 studios during the Wisconsin State Fair.
Can I interest you in some bug chow mein?
WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here. You've heard me say it before. J.D. Griffiths. They've been doing it for more than 70 years. They are Milwaukee's premier garage door provider. That's where you go if you need a new garage door. It enhances the look of your house. They just pop, and it adds so much character that you would never realize is even there. But that's not it. J.D. Griffiths also is Milwaukee's detached garage builder. They got their full-time crews. They got expert carpenters. They got concrete. They got grading. They got the demolition team. They've got everything. And J.D. Griffiths also offering an exclusive offer right now for you, the WTMJ listener. Get your free at-home estimate by calling this number, 414-362-7222. Or go to jdgriffiths.com/WTMJ. And if you purchase a new garage door, you can save $100 on a garage door opener from J.D. Griffiths.
From my family and myself, I would like to say thank you to Gruber Law Offices for taking such good care of us.
I would say thank you because you were so human and so much of a friend during the whole process.
I'm super grateful for them representing me and doing all that they did for me.
I would just say thank you for making me feel better.
That's why I'm here, to say thank you, thank you, thank you.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Sendik's limited time Hatch Pepper event is back. Order your fresh or roasted hatch peppers now at sendix.com/hatch.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Traffic sponsored by Sendik's Food Market, your trusted local grocer since 1926. Hello, Debbie.
Hello. Well, we're looking at a relatively okay ride, a little bit tight out of the 27th Street area on 894 westbound, all the way to about Forest Home through that construction zone as per usual. Westbound 94 is starting to slow down just a bit from 25th Street all the way through to Mitchell Boulevard, northbound on 43, backing up from North Avenue up towards Keefe. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ forecast sponsored by Dave Dre Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. Just a slight chance this afternoon of a shower, otherwise mostly sunny. High of 75 degrees. Mostly sunny skies Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Thursday's high only in the mid-70s, but by Saturday up to the low 80s. Sunday partly cloudy. The slight chance of a shower in the afternoon and a high of 85. Right now 67 in Milwaukee. The title of the email for the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office reads, Update, Deneen Park Shootings. Only there's virtually no update. In fairness to law enforcement everywhere, there are certain things to do in the course of an investigation that they can't share publicly without compromising the integrity of the investigation. We accept that, right?
Of course.
And they actually, even in the email from the Sheriff's Office, did address that. There's some things we can't say, for things, but they're asking for video. They're asking for witnesses to come forward, and it has the feel of we don't have our arms fully around this. A 17-year-old girl was shot and killed, 9 others injured in this mass shooting in a Milwaukee County park. Bring in our friend and teammate, former Milwaukee Police Lieutenant Dr. Ken Harris this morning. What do you make of that? Am I reading too much into that?
I don't understand. First of all, good morning. I don't understand what you mean by they don't have their arms fully around it. If I don't have the evidence, do I fabricate it or do I make it up?
No, I'm just saying they don't have the. That's exactly my point.
Right. So what is it that you expect them to do? Investigate. We don't have an update. You don't need the sheriff trotted out to say, "Hey, we don't have an update." It's not a leadership thing. That's what the public information officer's for.
You mentioned the sheriff. I would like to see and hear from the sheriff.
Why? It's the same information. Like, why would the sheriff have to read something that somebody else can hand you and you can read yourself? I mean, we did the same thing with the police chief. At some point, the police chief can't do everything. Like, every time there's a shooting, they show up. Every time at some point, you have to go.
Every time we got 10 people shot in the park. Like, shouldn't we have a news conference and the sheriff is the one leading that news conference to Anita Ball?
Why?
Because she's the head of the agency.
Why?
We just had the Secret Service lady forced to resign.
That was
it was
assassination
her agency
attempt. I get that,
right.
but why?
But like in the thing
but
of
nobody's
bigness.
answering the question.
Well, so
why?
I'll give you. I'll side with you on this, Ken. That oftentimes I feel like, and it's not always the head of the law enforcement agency. It's also could be the leader of a town or a city. Spend a little bit too much time in front of a camera.
Right.
Fair enough. David Clark was on my TV all the time, and I didn't need to hear from him on most of the things he was talking about.
Okay.
But at the same time,
it is refreshing.
Is it better to not even know? I wonder how many people even know who the sheriff is.
They do. And I think that's a little disingenuous because everybody knows who Sheriff Ball is. She was elected by everybody in the county. And so she doesn't have to parade herself. And I'm not taking up for her, but you don't have to parade yourself around all the time because you're never going to win. You're either going to complain that you see him too much or you're going to complain that you don't see him enough. But if you really understand what the job of a leader is, the job of a leader is to run an agency. If they don't catch the people, then I think you should have a meeting. But at least let them do their job. You know, it's the same idiocy with the Secret Service director. 9 days into an assassination attempt, at over 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 people. I have to literally interview every single person, every single phone, and you want information in 9 days?
I did wonder about that. I did wonder that it was kind of unfair that they put her out there on Monday, assuming that she was going to be able to provide a lot of information.
Idiotic, and it shows, especially AOC. Yes, I have my. Yeah, she's an idiot.
Go on, sir.
Absolute idiot. In 9 days, you don't know? If you understand anything about investigation and law enforcement, there's just cause you have to use in order to do an internal investigation. So you have to do the criminal first. Here's the idiocy. Oh, my God, we investigated. Vince, you're cleared. And then the FBI comes in and arrests you for a criminal offense for the same thing. So what they have to do is they have to go do the criminal first. If you're cleared, then they do the internal investigation. You can't start the internal investigation or question anybody. But yet you have, let me be respectful, she's a member of Congress. Knucklehead AOC, who decides, we want to know now. It's just unreasonable. So she probably quit because Dems turned against her too.
Is that why we haven't seen more? I'm surprised Eric and I were talking. Why haven't we seen more video from people who were at that event, at the Trump rally where the attempt on his life was made? Do they have their phones still?
No, they don't have their phones.
I mean, like law enforcement has their phones.
Oh, gosh, yeah. And they're going to download everything, and they're going to, I know this is your personal stuff. We're only looking for, and I'm pretty sure whatever the warrant they got was very narrow for only footage tied to this day and time during these hours. And that's it. And then they'll get it, and they'll download it, and they'll record who they got it from and give them their phone back.
Do you think the coverage of that investigation has been light or too much or just right? I feel
Which
like
investigation?
The one going into the assassination attempt. Yeah. Well, just in general, like the crooks, the suspect, like even him who's no longer with us. I want to know more about what's going on with this guy.
Then let them finish their investigation.
Well, how long does that take?
It's probably going to take, like she said, about 60 to 90 days. There are literally 3,000 people. I don't have 3,000 agents. So,
no, I get it.
So some group of people are going to be working.
And oh, by the way, they're super busy right now because now you have a president, you have the vice president, now new candidate in the race, and former President Trump wants to have rallies all over as well. So it's the busy season.
Oh, and Mr. Kennedy now has Secret Service protection.
That's right.
There we go.
6:59 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Grainger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Every business faces challenges, but complicated, expensive, and uncertain shipping shouldn't be one of them.
With USPS Ground Advantage from the United States Postal Service, you can avoid all the noise.
No more unexpected surcharges, hidden fees, or complex rate structures.
It's just easy, cost-effective, and dependable shipping. Tune your business's frequency to success and turn shipping to your advantage. Learn how at USPS.com/advantage. USPS Ground Advantage. Simple, affordable, reliable.
Country's hottest rising star, Riley Green.
There was this girl
live.
Drink in her hand.
August 7th, 7:30 p.m. State Fair Main Stage presented by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. With special guest Avriana.
Yeah, we're doing things a little
on sale now at WIStatefair.com. Riley Green, live in concert. Wisconsin State Fair presented by U.S. Cellular.
It's Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Rewards Member Appreciation Event. While we offer unbeatable deals every day, now through July 31st, we're showing extra appreciation to our rewards members with exclusive deals. Like 40-pound bags of Blaine's Black Oil Sunflower Seeds, $17.99. Rewards members save an extra $2. Select oil filters, 15% off for rewards members, and 15% reward savings on all Blazer trailer lighting. Not a rewards member? Sign up today. Don't miss our rewards member appreciation event going on now at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Trusted, relevant, locally owned, locally programmed. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ Milwaukee.
7:01, I'm Vince Vitrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. It's Wednesday, July 24th. Our top story, a nationwide address from the Oval Office.
I'm Erik Bilstad. A Milwaukee lifer could soon head south.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Starting to see delays northbound 43 coming up from Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up towards Capitol Drive. Westbound on 94 backed up from about 25th Street through to Mitchell Boulevard. And we've also got delays westbound 894 from 27th Street out to 68th. All of these adding about 2 to 3 minutes onto your ride. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Mostly sunny skies today. Slight chance this afternoon of a shower and a high of 75 degrees. Tonight's low down to 62 under mainly clear skies. Right now it's 67 in Milwaukee, and from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, for the first time since withdrawing from the 2024 presidential race, President Biden tonight plans to explain to the American people why he ended his campaign and has endorsed Vice President Kamala Harris. CBS News correspondent Jared Hill.
Joe Biden is entering a new phase of his presidency. Tonight, set to address the nation about his decision to exit the 2024 race.
He wants to talk directly to all of you, to the American people, to talk about what's next.
It comes a day after Vice President Kamala Harris held her first rally as a 2024 presidential candidate, packing out a gym in a key swing state.
We have earned the support of enough delegates to secure the Democratic nomination.
In a suburb of Milwaukee, where just last week, former President Donald Trump accepted the GOP nomination, Harris pledged to take him on.
I will proudly put my record against his any day of the week.
Harris's momentum fueled by an influx of cash and major endorsements.
President Trump plans a rally in North Carolina for later today. The vice president set to address a historically black sorority convention in Indianapolis.
One local business owner who claims not to be a Republican or a Democrat is happy with the Kamala Harris being on the ticket.
Heated elections are very good for us because everybody wants a yard sign.
Stephen Dudlick owns Dodco Inc. The company makes the metal wire that supports yard signs. The change from Biden to Harris means new signs need to be made. That means more wire, more money, and more fun.
Manufacturing is not exactly what I call Hollywood, but we do get once in a while an opportunity, and it is fun and rewarding.
Dodco's been making wire in Milwaukee for more than 100 years. John Merkier, WTMJ News.
Search for the next chief of police in Austin, Texas, down to 2 finalists, including Milwaukee Police Chief Jeffrey Norman.
Chief Norman is a lifetime resident of the city of Milwaukee and says community engagement is what makes him the best candidate for the Austin position.
I know you all did the research on me. I do this morning, noon, night, even with dessert, because it's important for you to be, as a leader, to be at the tip of the arrow, to lean in, to show everyone else that this can be done.
Austin's city manager will choose between Norman and Cincinnati Assistant Police Chief Lisa Davis next Tuesday. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
The RNC may be over, but the Common Council wants to hear about its effects on Milwaukee in 3 specific areas.
The first Common Council file directly addresses Milwaukee Police and the Fire and Police Commission. It asks about the fatal shooting of a 42-year-old Milwaukee man near the soft security perimeter by officers from Columbus, Ohio. Another communication file seeks information about RNC-related arrests, police contacts, and ticketed violations, statistics that MPD often releases after large community events. The third file asks officials from Visit Milwaukee and the administration of Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson if disadvantaged and emerging businesses saw just as much economic activity as those within the security zone. Jessica Gatzo, WTMJ News.
Coming up, the world's smelliest game of chicken continues in Asia. Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:05.
This report is sponsored by Diamonds Direct. Your love, their passion.
You're not going to want to miss this. Diamonds Direct summer sale starts this weekend. For 3 days only this Friday through Sunday. Get 20% off rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, and more. Plus, book an appointment and get an additional $100 off. And designers are flying in from New York and LA to showcase their latest trends. That's 20% off, plus $100 off with an appointment and designer trunk shows. Tons of engagement rings on sale too. 20% off starts Friday. Details at diamondsdirect.com. 3 days only and Sunday.
Rose Gray here from Fox World Travel. The largest vacation sale in the nation is happening right now. It's the Fox World Travel exclusive July sale with Apple Vacations. Select from top resorts at favorite destinations in Mexico and the Caribbean, paired with nonstop flights to get you there fast. Let Fox World Travel book your best price guarantee vacation and secure your reservation with just a deposit. You can also book your trip online. Visit foxworldtravel.com/July or call 866-GO-FOX-GO today.
Buying a home should be a joy, but could you imagine doing this without a realtor? Paperwork, inspections, appraisals, deadlines, showings, market research? Or you could relax. Or understanding legal documents, negotiating offers, coordinating inspections, securing finance. Oh, sorry. A realtor can take the stress out of the home buying process. See how at wra.org/a-realtor-can. Brought to you by the Wisconsin Realtors Association.
Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
It's Heiser's Red, White, and Blue event. Service or upgrade your ride today with star-spangled discounts you deserve. Let our certified technicians get your current ride road trip ready for July festivities. Or work with our sales consultants to find the perfect new vehicle for all your summer destinations. Plus, enjoy our exclusive Safe and Sound program with every vehicle sale. See details and offers at Heiser.com and celebrate your independence today. At Heiser, today's your day.
See dealer for complete details.
Now is the best time to sell your home. Market is ripe, and Grandview Homes will pay more now than ever before. Plus, we'll buy your home as is in any condition. No repairs or cleanouts needed. Visit GrandviewHomes.com for your fair cash offer today.
Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:07.
Brewers and Cubs this afternoon, and Matt LaFleur doesn't much care to be asked about Jordan Love's situation. We'll do that in sports at 7:15.
A shelter-in-place order is in place in Baraboo. An armed and dangerous man remains at large this morning near Baraboo. This is in Sauk County. He fired at officers, injuring one. They continue to search for this man.
Man from Milwaukee in custody now after trying to avoid prison time by fleeing to Ireland. The FBI initially arrested 56-year-old Paul Kovacic from Milwaukee in June of 2022, accused of joining the attack on the U.S. Capitol on January 6th. He was sentenced to 3 months behind bars, pleaded guilty to misdemeanor demonstrating in a Capitol building 2023, he then fled to Ireland requesting asylum, voluntarily returned to the U.S. in June after dropping that asylum claim.
North Korea keeps trashing its neighbor.
North Korea's trash-carrying air balloons fell on South Korea's presidential office compound Wednesday morning. The president's guard office confirmed that the trash balloon debris was spotted on the premises. The office added that their investigation found no danger in the balloon content, which is mostly paper waste. South Korean military has been responding with loudspeaker broadcasts at the border as countermeasure. Hakyung Kate-lee, ABC News, Seoul.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 7:09.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. Our house is looking kind of drab. Needed a little bit of a facelift, and I found the team that took care of it big time. It's CertaPro Painters. Each business is independently owned and operated right here in Wisconsin. Schedule your free estimate online. It's easy. CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. They will come out and help you protect your home investment with quality painting. It's CertaPro Painters. They are the real deal. They did great work at our house. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
It's Christmas in July at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. Get sale discounts store-wide all month long. What a great time to shop for all of your Christmas needs. Get your holiday decor and so much more, along with all the great bargains we always have for you. It's Christmas in July at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Traffic is sponsored by Milwaukee's Original House Party. Celebrate 42 years of tradition at Germanfest this weekend. Celebrate 42 years of Germanfest, July 26th, 27th, and 28th. $5 admission Friday. Free admission for active military, veterans, and one companion all day, any day.
Good morning, Debbie. What's happening on the roads?
Good morning, Vince. We're looking at a little bit of a slow ride westbound 894 from 27th Street to 60A. So heads up with that on 894. That's through the construction zone. We got a crash on the off-ramp to 35th Street from westbound 94. So it's on the off-ramp there. Delays past that all the way to about Mitchell Boulevard through the Stadium interchange. So something to keep in mind there. Northbound 43, backing up from North Avenue all the way up past Keefe. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. For today, a lot more sunshine after some morning cloud cover. A slight chance of an afternoon shower near the lake breeze. But most of us stay dry. High temperatures only in the mid-70s. It's mainly clear tonight, a low around 62. And then the sunshine back for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, with highs gradually increasing from the mid-70s into the lower 80s. We'll look for a partly cloudy sky on Sunday. Warmer. Slight chance of an afternoon shower with a high of 85. I'm meteorologist Brendan Johnson with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
67 degrees in Milwaukee.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's Erik Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
Back at the White House this morning, President Biden preparing an address to the nation.
Why did you drop out of the election?
Reporters shouting that question to the president. He was boarding Air Force One, returning from his COVID isolation in Delaware. The speech tonight expected to address that very question. ABC News senior White House correspondent Selena Wang.
This speech is going to be about his decision to drop out of this race and why he did that, as well as his plans for the rest of his term. A source close to the president tells me that he's been working on this speech for the past day and huddling with his speechwriting team at the White House. I'm told that this speech is going to be emotional and coming from the president's heart.
And we will carry ABC News coverage of the president's address this evening at 7 o'clock right here on 620 WTMJ.
In West Dallas.
Tony Evers excitement scale that goes from holy mackerel and maxes out at heck yes. I am jazzed as hell to be welcoming
in front of 3,000 people, which was the largest so far for the campaign in the Biden-Harris campaign. Kamala Harris addressing Wisconsin, saying how important this state will be.
The path to the White House goes through Wisconsin.
Which we kind of knew, but and this was a pre-planned, like we had already had this visit on the schedule before the big breaking news and the president stepping aside over the weekend.
In fact, we're told they had to change venues at one point because they expected more people.
ABC News reporting as well that the vice president will skip today's address to Congress by Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, though she is planning to meet with him privately. He's got a long list of appointments ahead.
Call it a BB Blitz. After speaking to a joint meeting of Congress today, the Israeli Prime Minister will meet with President Biden at the White House tomorrow and travel to Mar-a-Lago Friday to meet with former President Trump. We're told Vice President Harris will also sit with Netanyahu at some point. Security for his speech to lawmakers today will be extremely tight, with police officers from as far away as New York heading down here to Washington to assist Capitol Police.
That's ABC's Stephen Portnoy. Netanyahu earlier this week did meet with families of Israeli Americans whose loved ones are still being held hostage by Hamas. It is 7:14. Sports coming up next.
Michael Quizon is the IT systems administrator at Great Midwest Bank. Before switching to document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems, they had a printer problem.
We talked to James Imaging. We said, we need to take down the number of printers that we have. What can we do?
The experts at James Imaging Systems researched your printing process, overall workflow, costs, supplies.
So we went from probably 120, 130 printers down to 50 some odd printers.
And
our cost from supplies perspective went down. I mean, we're talking about thousands in a year. So we saved a lot of money by bringing James Imaging on.
Michael, the benefit as the bank's IT systems administrator?
I don't have to deal with printers. One less thing on my plate.
Anything to add about your experience?
In terms of James Imaging, they've been a great partner.
Switch to document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems. Call 262-781-7700. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Siding Unlimited, named the best window installers, not just here, but in the whole USA. Get the best. Siding Unlimited, 3-time winner as America's best window installer. For windows, you call Siding Unlimited first and directly. SidingUnlimited.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Erik Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
The best part of that Brewers-Cubs game was this.
1-2, line drive, back up the middle and into center field for a base hit. Trotting home is Bowers. Bryce Terang delivers an RBI single, and the Brewers take a 1-0 lead.
The second baseman, who's been scuffling a bit, scores that run, drives in that run in the 8th inning as the Brewers win 1-0 over the Cubs at Wrigley Field. A little frustrating game for Pat Murphy. Said that the young player still kind of doing some things that he questions when they're at bat.
I'd say ill-advised. Another ill-advised decision, ill-advised. The 3-0 bunt, ill-advised. Churio going to second with no outs, ill-advised.
You see, you're picking up on something there?
A theme there.
But he did call it a great win. He says they battled through it. A lot of teachable moments there. The game was delayed because of rain by 90 minutes. Back at it today, 1:20 first pitch, 12:45 pregame right here at WTMJ Radio. And keep your eye on the lineup. Christian Yelich was pulled from the game in the 8th, apparently dealing with that back again. Hopefully not too bad.
So hopefully it's a few days as opposed to a few weeks. Love Watch continues this morning in Green Bay. Packers have their third training camp practice scheduled for today. Quarterback Jordan Love not practicing with the team till he gets a new contract. Packers head coach Matt LaFleur asked about that.
Any change on Jordan?
Nah, no updates there.
You guys had any change on Jordan?
Change on Jordan?
Nah, no updates there.
Alrighty then.
Asked and answered. Okay. Yep. There's another moment that kind of hit me odd in LaFleur's about 10 minutes with reporters prior to practice on Tuesday. Kind of asked your basic training camp stuff. I mean, sure. It's day 2.
We're talking about practice.
Yeah, right. So some of the questions are, how's this guy look? How's that guy look? But it's 2 days in. So he's talking about, how some guys are starting to get better.
Just getting all 11, whether it's on offense, defense, or on defense, finishing to the ball. And
you heard it too, right?
We fence.
Offense, defense, or on we fence.
What is we fence?
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I don't know.
We got to investigate that.
Is that just like one of these coach speak things? Like, hey, look, defense is everybody. It's it's we fence, really,
sure.
guys. Right?
Yep. We're working together.
Can you imagine Vince Lombardi saying we fence? All right, fellas, it's we fence. Give me a break. Anyway, offense, defense, we fence, whatever, they'll all be out there. Open to the public practice this morning at 10:30.
Packers bloggers going crazy over the possibility of an alternate helmet being used this year. Madden 25 seems to have an alternate helmet in one of the preview videos, and it comes from a blogger who wrote about it a couple of months ago. We do have a picture of the white Packers helmet on our website. Just text the word helmet to the WTMJ Talking text line, 855-616-1620. I'm curious. So far, it's been a little meh in the reaction to it, but a white road helmet. Also, a couple of quick Olympics things. Tennis player Coco Gauff is going to join LeBron James as a flag bearer in the opening ceremonies, and Salt Lake City is going to host the 2034 Winter Games.
Coming up next, we're going to talk live with a former senior Secret Service agent, now ABC News contributor, about the attempt on the former president's life and the resignation of the director of the U.S. Secret Service.
So what do you think of that Packers helmet?
I'd say ill-advised.
It's a bird. It's a plane. No, for real. It's a plane. Wisconsin's Afternoon News is live at EAA AirVenture in Oshkosh. John Mercure here.
And Julia Fellow here. We hit the road Friday, July 26th to join aviation enthusiasts from around the world to experience the air shows, workshops, and all that the event has to offer.
Tune in from 3 to 6 p.m. on July 26th for Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
Live at EAA Oshkosh on News Radio 620 WTMJ.
Vince Vitrano for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin just had another kitchen table summit with Gina Della and her son Alex Della at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. We're going to get a new front door to our house. It's bothered my wife since we moved into the house, and it's a major investment in the home. You want to make sure you get everything right. And Pella has a brand new door line that they're offering, and along with that comes this amazing software. So you hate to make a big investment in your home and then it gets there and you're like, that's not what I thought it was going to look like. This software allowed Alex to put in the options that we chose for our door, and then he took a picture of our entryway and then put the picture of like what the door would look like with all the things we chose right on top of that, so we could actually see what it's going to look like in the home. It was so helpful. Made some changes on our choices based on what it looked like. This is the service you get from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and to make it more affordable, you can stretch your payments out month to month, pay as low as $18 a window per month, $81 per patio door per month. That's $18 per window, $81 per patio door per month at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Certain restrictions do apply. The offer ends at the end of the month. Visit PellaWI.com today.
When you're at State Fair this year, be sure to check out the Bank 59 Amphitheater, State Fair's largest free entertainment venue, featuring acts like Here Come the Mummies, Gaelic Storm, and Pat McCurdy. Bank 59 is a proud sponsor of the fair and a proud supporter of the local Wisconsin communities they've served since 1859. So grab your bucket of lemonade or beer, something on a stick, and join Bank 59 between August 1st and 11. Member FDIC.
Checking in with Debbie here at 721.
Westbound 94 have an accident on the off-ramp to 35th Street. And then a little bit beyond 35th Street, we got a broken down vehicle blocking the left lane. So watch out for that. Delays stretching back to about 25th Street. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Sunny today with a slight chance for showers later on, a high of 75. Tonight, clear and cool, 62. Thursday, sunny, a high of 76. 67 at 721.
In the wake of the stunning security lapses and the attempt on former President Donald Trump's life, the director of the U.S. Secret Service, Kimberly Cheeto, did resign Tuesday. Just as we enter this season, where special agents not only have the duty to protect the sitting president, but now you have two candidates, high-profile candidates in the race, holding rallies all over the country. ABC News law enforcement contributor Don Mihalik is a retired senior Secret Service agent, and he's live with us this morning. Don, really appreciate your insight this morning. Can I just first ask you, your immediate reaction as you saw the assassination attempt on former President Trump, were you as stunned as the rest of the world with the lapses in security, or could you, because of what you saw on the inside, have seen something like this coming?
Thanks for having me. I was shocked, of course, by the attempted assassination of former President Trump. I was shocked because, generally speaking, the Secret Service has a tremendous track record in keeping events in sight safe. And with former President Trump, he's done hundreds of these open rallies around the country with even larger attendances. And the Secret Service has been able to affect a security plan that mitigated all threats and kept everybody safe. So it was shocking to me to see what happened. I felt horrible for the agents that were there and the personnel that were there. Of course, part of me wanted to be there, and I, of course, felt horrible for the victims of the assassin's bullet. So those were my initial reactions.
Don Mahalik is a former senior Secret Service agent, ABC News contributor with us live this morning. So let me ask you about the news that we heard. Former President Trump has said they're not going to do outdoor rallies right now. We just had the Vice President, Kamala Harris, was here in town. She was in a field house at a high school, but again, a controlled environment. Is that wise moving forward, particularly as we continue this investigation?
Well, so the Secret Service is not in a position to tell protectees what to do or where to go. Their job is to mitigate threats. Of course, it is much easier to mitigate threats in an indoor closed environment than in an outdoor open environment. It's historically just been easier. The Secret Service's protective methodologies are based on controlling everything. When something is not controlled, you have a problem typically. So for the Secret Service, President Trump making that announcement will just help them do their job moving forward. But ultimately, the Secret Service is about risk mitigation, not risk elimination. And they've been able to mitigate risks. They've taken President Trump when he was president to combat zones. They've taken Obama and Bush to combat zones. And they just took President Biden to Israel. So the Secret Service can do its job if the security plan is such that it has every mitigation factor in place and everybody involved in the security plan is doing their job.
Did everyone do their job on last Saturday?
Well, the reporting we have, and the Pennsylvania State Police Commissioner testified at a House Homeland Security Committee hearing yesterday, that apparently there was a pair of officers that were assigned to a post. In the Secret Service, a post is a fixed thing. They were assigned a post to watch and monitor that building that the shooter got on and those buildings. And what happened was one of their local counter sniper teams observed the shooter with the rangefinder in the backpack, which has been widely reported. And then at some point, he disappeared from their view. So the local counter sniper team called that team, probably because they knew they're on the backside of the building, to go investigate. That team left post. So they left a gap. And they went off to try to find this individual, which they never did until the public started screaming and shouting that there's a guy on the roof. So that is an area that the Secret Service, because the Secret Service owns the security plan, the Secret Service moving forward is going to have to look at how to best leverage, and they need the state and local partners to do their job. They have to look at how to best leverage personnel at all these sites in order to mitigate these risks. They also have to look at what are the instructions given to people to make sure they understand what their roles are. And then finally, from the reporting, there was a communication loop about this suspicious individual amongst the local law enforcement folks. The Secret Service didn't find out about the communication until almost it was too late. So
sorry, Don, I know you got to run. ABC News contributor and former senior Secret Service agent Don Mahalik live with us this morning. Appreciate your time, sir.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
Yeah, he's a popular guest this morning on radio programs all across the country, so we needed to cut him loose to get him to another appointment. But his point is well taken. These are coordinated efforts. It's not just Secret Service agents on the ground there. They're coordinating with, as we saw right here in Milwaukee, a local police, a local sheriff's office, state police, all these other contributors, and they got to find a way to talk to each other.
But if you're stretched so thin at some point where you're relying on local law enforcement, not that local law enforcement doesn't know what it's doing, but if you're relying so much on outside entities, outside agencies, does that open up the more possibility of error just because of the number of people being used, a variety of different people being used?
You know, the other question that you've raised, I think, is a good one. Was it right, maybe ultimately, for Kimberly Cheeto, the director of the U.S. Secret Service, to resign at some point? Maybe politically that was a popular talking point, but could she not have served a better purpose, at least in the short term, of not having this upheaval within the Secret Service, because you have all these details that you still have to put out? On top of that, aiding in the investigation. You were there. You put together the plan. Like, could she not have better contributed, at least in the short term, right?
Yeah.
But politically, she just wasn't going to be able to survive. 727 on Wisconsin's Morning News. News about your money this morning. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average closed down about 57 points to 40,358. NASDAQ at 17,997, off 10. And the S&P 500 down 9 to 55.56. Get an honest opinion of where you are financially and where you're headed. Work with a fee-only fiduciary. Start at annexwealth.com. Welcome to The Knowledge Brokers, a weekly feature covering the dynamics of the insurance market and how it affects Wisconsin businesses and residents. Sponsored by the original Knowledge Broker, R&R Insurance. Back with us again today, Jeff Salazinski, Vice President of Insurance Operations. Jeff, we've talked about cybercrime before. In fact, you were the first person I thought of when we learned of this major healthcare system with many of our own doctors, clinics, and hospitals attacked.
Thank you, Vince. It's great to be here again. Yes, that massive attack is wreaking havoc both on the employees and the patients. Their systems have been down for several weeks. It sounds like chaos. The FBI director has called cybercrime and cyber attacks the defining threat of our generation. Data breach, ransomware, network vulnerabilities, funds transfer fraud, everything and anything that's connected is a target. It boils down to working with an experienced cybercrime specialist. Protect yourself or your business. If your agent doesn't understand the tactics of a cyber threat actor, he or she is going to be of little value after an event.
So let's get into it a little bit. What are some of the expenses that would be covered by a typical cyber insurance policy?
Cyber insurance policies, Vince, vary greatly policy to policy. It's essential you choose coverage that aligns with your business's specific need and risk profile. But here's just a few examples. It can provide financial protection to help restore systems, recover lost data, even hardware replacement.
And why should a business then work with R&R Insurance?
Vince, at R&R Insurance, our dedicated cybercrime insurance team has been in place for almost 10 years. We have some of the best cybercrime experts in the marketplace. We understand the risks and can custom design a cybercrime program that will protect you and your business. And in the event a loss does occur, we'll be there to support you every step along the way.
That's Jeff from R&R Insurance. Thanks for the great info, Jeff. 7:30. I'm Vince Vitrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. Wednesday, July 24th, our top story. Record-setting numbers for the Democrats at a West Allis rally.
I'm Erik. Bilstad, a manhunt in Baraboo.
I'm Debbie Laziga, westbound on 94. Looks like we've got the off-ramp to 35th Street actually turned out to be workers, so just heads up with that. But a little bit further on, we do have the left lane blocked with a disabled vehicle, so that's backing things up into the Marquette kind of heavily. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Mostly sunny skies today, high of 75 degrees.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Vice President Kamala Harris on the campaign trail following the decision by President Biden on Sunday to forego his re-election bid. ABC Chief White House correspondent Mary Bruce has more.
Kamala Harris is hitting the ground running. Her first campaign rally in battleground Wisconsin, electrifying a crowd of 3,000 supporters.
We have doors to knock on. We have phone calls to make. We have voters to register. And we have an election to win.
Harris already now the presumptive Democratic nominee as President Biden prepares to address the nation about his historic decision to bow out of the race.
Donald Trump will hold a campaign rally today in North Carolina, but it will be held indoors, unlike the rally outdoors where Trump was nearly assassinated by a gunman on a roof. Also delivering a speech today in Washington, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. He will be addressing both houses of Congress this afternoon. 200 protesters arrested in D.C. Tuesday. This is ABC News.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:31.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center this morning, yes, security very tight in West Allis as the vice president, now the presumptive Democrat nominee for president, chose that location, Central High School, for her rally.
A short but strong speech in the eyes of Kamala Harris supporters who know the chances of the VP becoming the first woman to be elected president of the United States rides on the shoulders of Wisconsin voters.
Wisconsin, today I ask you, are you ready to get to work?
We asked delegate and Milwaukee County Executive David Crawley if the delegate numbers she has right now will hold.
You know, anytime we went to the convention as Democrats, there's always been some level of contention. I truly believe that Democrats are going to be rallying around Kamala Harris.
Julia Fellow, WTMJ News.
It was a record-breaking crowd at that event in West Allis for the campaign. More than 3,000 attendees. That's the largest event for a Harris-Biden campaign to date.
Questions still in the wake of the attempted assassination on Donald Trump earlier this month. Retired Secret Service agent Don Mahalik telling Wisconsin's Morning News the job of the department is risk mitigation, not risk elimination.
They've taken President Trump when he was president to combat zones. They've taken Obama and Bush to combat zones, and they just took President Biden to Israel. The Secret Service can do its job if the security plan is such that it has every mitigation factor in place and everybody involved in the security plan is doing their job.
The now former Secret Service Director, Kimberly Cheadle, resigned on Tuesday. She called the assassination on the former president the department's worst failure in decades.
A manhunt for a man considered armed and dangerous in Sauk County. This is in south central Wisconsin. The search is on this morning for the suspect who engaged police in a chase, also fired shots at cops, injuring one officer. This happened near Baraboo. There is a shelter in place in Baraboo.
Short-term rentals in Milwaukee could soon be subject to more regulation. Common Council could consider new rules that would include requiring operators of rentals like Airbnbs to live in the properties that they're renting out. It comes in response to complaints about loud parties and other nuisance behavior linked to short-term rentals over the past year. One of the aldermen, Jonathan Brostoff, says he wants the council to consider additional short-term rental rules after their August recess.
Coming up, we're going to need a new boat.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 7:34. Traffic sponsored by Sendik's Food Market, your trusted local grocer since 1926.
Sendik's limited time Hatch Pepper event is back. Order your fresh or roasted Hatch peppers now at sendix.com/hatch.
News is sponsored by Griffin Ford, Griffin Chevy on Metro Auto Mall, and Griffin's Hub Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram.
$1 in today's world doesn't go far unless you're spending it at Griffin. Because for just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. Buy one or a whole set. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand. We'll put you in new tires for just $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. That's right, $1 over cost, and we'll even show you the invoice to prove it. So what's the catch? There's really no catch. You don't have to buy a car or a truck from us. We'd like it if you did. But our only requirement is we put them on for you. Buy 1, 2, or a set of 4. The $1 deal at Griffin. Available at Griffin Chrysler Jeep South, 27th Street and Jefferson. Griffin Chevrolet in the Auto Mall. Griffin Ford, Waukesha, and Fort Atkinson. 5 ways to make your dollar go further. Griffin, the buck stops here, but the deals on tires don't. $1 over cost. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
So the body knows that it needs to heal itself, but it doesn't know how to concentrate it and target it into just one area. So that's where we come in.
By we, Dr. Ashley Caravelli means the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, QC Kinetics.
We put in those treatments, then it sends out like little signalers to your body. We're able to make the body focus on the areas that need the most healing.
QC Kinetics has gathered brilliant medical minds like Dr. Caravelli and Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, a pioneer in the field of regenerative medicine, to lead the way in these innovative pain treatments.
So at QC Kinetics, we have a whole team working nationwide with cutting-edge research to reach our patients and treat them and know that surgery is no longer their only option.
The consultation is free. Find out if you're a candidate. Call QC Kinetics today.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:36.
Brewers play-by-play man Jeff Levering joins us from Chicago in Brewers 360 at 7:45.
It was all caught on video, which makes this amazing. 2 fishermen off the coast of New Hampshire say they are lucky to be alive this morning after they met with a whale.
Describe met with.
They encountered a whale? Is that
they
better?
certainly did.
It was a whale of a tail, if you will. The whale, marine life experts believe, was probably lunging at its prey, but the boat got in the way.
The stunning encounter, a humpback whale exploding out of the water.
Everything seemed like in slow motion. It was really weird.
All 40 tons of it slamming down on the boat's stern, catapulting the 2 men into the water.
When I turned, the whale's head was already landing on the engine,
and forcing the boat to turn completely over.
I saw it come up and I was just like, oh, it's going to hit the boat.
2 teens who watched the surreal scene unfold quickly scooped the fishermen out of the water unharmed.
Yeah, it just kind of comes out of the water, lands on the boat, shoots the guys off, and it's all caught on video. Those teenagers are actually seen in the video, and they go and help those guys out. I keep thinking about the whale. What do you think he's thinking? What in the world?
Nothing. Barely even saw it. You know how big the whale is, right? Barely even saw that. What's
it's
that?
A speck.
Yeah,
something hit me.
The whales were there first. I mean, you don't want to have that happen, but you're actually in their house.
That's true.
7:38, this news report brought to you by Steinhoffels. Visit them at steinhoffels.com.
The Steinhoffels Buy More, Save More sale is back. The best time to refresh your whole house because the more you buy, the more you save. You can take up to $300 off of your purchase of bedroom, dining, sofas, home office, and so much more. Use Steinhoffels 60-month financing to make your dream room even more affordable. The Buy More, Save More sale only at Steinhoffels. Shop in-store or online at steinhoffels.com.
You're not going to want to miss this. Diamonds Direct Summer Sale starts this weekend. For 3 days only, this Friday through Sunday. Get 20% off rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, and more. Plus, book an appointment and get an additional $100 off. And designers are flying in from New York and LA to showcase their latest trends. That's 20% off, plus $100 off with an appointment and designer trunk shows. Tons of engagement rings on sale, too. 20% off starts Friday. Details at diamondsdirect.com. 3 days only and Sunday.
Every great Midwest bank branch has document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems. Michael Quizon is IT Systems Administrator. Michael, the bank has a slogan.
We are called Simply Local. We're a Simply Local bank.
And your business technology company, James Imaging Systems, has been a 100% locally owned and managed company right here in Wisconsin for over 40 years.
They're more like a partner to us.
In what way?
We call on them at any point, they're there. We ask them any questions that we have, they were there.
James Imaging Systems, document imaging technology, and local service and support.
We can get our printers up and running right away if we have any issues. We can do our business without any downtime at all.
The benefit to Great Midwest Bank?
Efficient operations, time savings on my end. There's no other partner that we can bring on.
Start your partnership with James Imaging Systems today. Call 262-781-7700. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Checking in with Debbie here, 7:39.
Okay, eastbound 94 riders, watch for the delays starting around 92nd Street, stretching all the way to about 35th. Westbound's backed up out of the Marquette, past 35th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. By the way, 35th Street, I mentioned that because we did have an earlier report of an accident on the off-ramp there. Turns out it looks like it was some workers there. Either way, it's still going to be backed up right through that area. That earlier disabled vehicle, the blocking the left lane, has been cleared out of the way. Now, northbound 43, seeing a little bit of a backup now from North Avenue up to Keefe. Southbound, slowing from before Hampton down past Capitol. I'm Debbie Lazigo with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for today, mostly sunny, a slight chance of an afternoon shower, high temperatures in the mid-70s. It's mainly clear, cooler tonight with a low of around 62, and the sunshine back for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Highs gradually increasing from the mid-70s to the low 80s. We'll see a partly cloudy sky on Sunday, warmer, a slight chance of an afternoon or evening shower with highs topping out around 85 degrees. I'm meteorologist Brendan Johnson with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee at 66 degrees. U.S. Open tennis champion Coco Gauff will be the other flag bearer for Team USA in the Olympics. That news just breaking this morning.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
She wasn't on
waiting a whole week.
Yes, you were.
It seemed like a week.
Really interested yesterday.
Yeah, we thought Simone Biles.
We had Simone Biles on our bingo card. Also, Katie Ledecky, the swimmer.
But Coco, she's going to be the youngest ever to hold the flag. So good for her. Other Olympic news: we have Salt Lake City hosting the 2034 Winter Games. They're going to do it again. They're running that back. They hosted once before. And then there's this. Does this sound familiar? Some 45,000 members of law enforcement are patrolling the streets. Another 10,000 soldiers are also there in Paris. Does that sound at all familiar to you? Kind of like what it was here a little bit.
But like times 10.
This guy, Tim van der Wild, is visiting, of course, from the Netherlands.
I'm not really into the Olympic fight yet. I see a lot of police and military people, but yeah.
They're seeing a lot of police, not really into the vibe yet, he was saying there. These people are from the Philippines. They can't even see the Eiffel Tower.
We have to get a restaurant near Eiffel Tower just to have a glimpse of Eiffel. And that's it. That's so disappointing.
Yeah, I can understand that a little
So
bit.
what, they have like a perimeter or whatever? and so
Just
you have to
very
have-
similar to
right.
what we're doing or what we did here in Milwaukee. You got gates, you got security barriers, you got 45,000 members of law enforcement, a lot of security, so you're not going to be able to get around Paris that easy.
We got Brewers 360 coming up next on Wisconsin's Morning News, 7:43.
Greg Mansick here for Holiday Automotive in Fond du Lac, where the summer road trip sale continues. It's where to gear up, score enticing offers, and get more for your trade on a new Chevrolet, Buick, or GMC, or GM-certified pre-owned model. Experience Team Holiday's award-winning guest care and simplified buying approach. It's the stuff that makes fans of drivers from all over Wisconsin, and I'm one of them. Find yours and discover the difference at Holiday, Highway 41 and 23 in Fond du Lac, and at holidaygm.com. It's worth the trip.
After a serious accident, you'll need a winning team to protect your rights. Trust Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Erik Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
Green Bay Packers take to the practice field 10:30 once again today. It's open to the public at Ray Nitschke Field. As for quarterback Jordan Love, still no word on a new contract deal and is not going to practice until he gets one.
If you want to see what a Packers alternate helmet may look like, Packers internet is buzzing right now about the potential. That's how you feel about it? It's white. It's a white helmet. Text the word helmet to 855-616-1620.
I want people to have to text Lord Helmet.
It'd take longer.
Okay.
And a lot of people spell helmet a different way, I noticed. Helmet, Helmet. Just text it and we'll send you a picture. The Brewers win 1-0 thanks to good pitching and a Bryce Trang RBI single in the 8th inning. Same two teams today, this afternoon from Wrigley Field.
Brewers 360 is sponsored by Holiday Automotive. And on Wednesday, we got play-by-play man Jeff Levering from Chicago. Hey, Jeff.
Hey, good morning, guys. How we doing?
I want to ask you about this. I was listening, not watching last night, and Lane and Josh are next door in the radio booth talking about after the rain delay, how they were inundated with bugs.
This was a bit of an issue for us last night, a bigger issue tonight, though. When the rain came in, the bugs moved their way into our booth. First pitch to Joey is low, and it's 1-0. And I mean a lot of them. We turned all the lights off in here so it wouldn't attract them, so it went next door to Pat Hughes and
How
Ron
did y'all
Coomer's
deal with
booth.
it in the TV booth?
Lights were off. Lights 100% were off. I will say Tim Dillard has been wiping bugs out of his beard for the last 2 days. So
That's a horrifying picture.
It's really, really bad. But we did basically a dark broadcast yesterday. But looking up at the ceiling was not a pretty sight because it was just a blanket of bugs. Pretty good stuff.
What kind of bug are we talking about?
Not quite midges, but a smaller version. Just bugs that are annoying, not biting, not doing anything like that, but just really annoying.
I'm glad we got that cleared up. Is that a regular at Wrigley? I mean, that is an old ballpark. I don't know. Have they touched even the broadcast booths in any of their renovations?
They have elongated them. They made them deeper, but not wider. So, they haven't done much to them. But I don't remember the bugs ever being this bad. We've had spiders and stuff like that in the past, but never any bugs of this nature. So, we'll see what happens today. Hopefully they stay away during the day game.
Should Brewers fans be concerned about Christian Yelich's back?
I mean, it's always something that he's been dealing with for the last few years. They've done a really good job of mitigating the injury, and he already spent some time on the injured list with it this year. There were some thoughts that because it's got some nerve issue this time around that he may have to go on the injured list. Pat Murphy intimated that after the ball game last night. it's a day-to-day situation with Yelly. As long as he can withstand the pain, he's going to be in there. But maybe this time it's gonna take an injured stint for him. We'll just have to wait and see what happens at the ballpark.
Brewers have had some success managing it, though, haven't they? Level last season or two, where they've done given him that time. Like, instead of push through right now, maybe give him, whether it's a week or 3 weeks. I'd rather have him later than right now.
Yeah, you're right, and it's a situation where you want him in September when you're going through the push run,
right?
Rather than, hey, listen, give it 10 days right now, let it heal up. So we'll see. Again, it's whatever he can withstand, and as anybody who's dealt with a back issue before, it's all about pain maintenance, and it's not an easy thing to do. And he's done a really good job. The training staff's done an amazing job with him. We dealt with this with Ryan Braun for a number of years with his back issue. But for Christian, you just want to make sure he's doing okay. And when it comes to nerves, I mean, all it takes is one little twist, and that thing can really turn on you.
Brewers play-by-play man Jeff Levering with us on Brewers 360. 121st pitch in Chicago this afternoon. Thanks, Jeff.
You got it. See you next week.
In fact, I just looked over in between innings, and Pat was like washing his arms with hand sanitizer because bugs are just all over you up here in the booth. We will absolutely swallow bugs tonight while we're on the air.
Just because it was said didn't mean you had to play that part. Oh.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. And now is the time for a bad dad joke.
What did the window say when it was arrested? I was framed.
Dad jokes aside, my mind is on windows because Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin has a fantastic deal going on right now. Pay as low as $18 per window and $81 per patio door per month. Pella completes the installation with no mess, no hassle, and no bad dad jokes. Certain restrictions do apply. This offer ends on July 31st. Visit PellaWI.com today to get started.
There's a reason why we install Armstrong Air Pro Series systems. When your reputation is on the line, you pick the brand you can trust. It's like our employees. You pick the best to preserve your good name. A guy like me that's been working on furnaces and AC systems for over half my life. I got an eye for the good stuff. And Armstrong Air Pro Series systems fit the bill. This is Anthony Zanevsky with Quality Heating. When you need a good crew installing a system you can rely on, see the man in the red van.
Quality Heating, Quality Heating.
Emergency service 24/7. Quality Heating has 25 trucks ready to work around the clock to get out there quickly to solve your heating or AC problem. So when that system goes on the fritz and you want to avoid that sweaty summer heat or bypass the fear of frozen feet, the man in the red van can't be beat when it comes to prompt, reliable service. Call Quality Heating for any emergency HVAC need.
You gotta see the man in the red van. Quality Heating, Quality Heating.
From removing unwanted clutter or junk to full-service residential or commercial cleanouts, get a free same-day estimate at twomenandajuncktruck.com. Keep what you love, ditch what you don't.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Traffic is sponsored by Two Men and a Junk Truck. Keep what you love, ditch what you don't.
All right, westbound 94 going to be a slow one out of the Marquette all the way out past Mitchell Boulevard. The eastbound side slowing down from the Zoo interchange to about 35th. Northbound on 43 backing up from Fond du Lac Avenue to Keefe. Southbound slow from Silver Spring down to Keefe. And then on the bypass heading westbound out of the Mitchell interchange going to be a slow one all the way to about 68th Street. ABRI's on the roads report incidents at the WTMJ Hall Volkswagen traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Forecast sponsored by Dave Drake Camp Heating. Your comfort is their family's tradition. Sunny today, a slight chance for a shower later on this afternoon, a high of 75. Tonight, clear and cooler, a low of 62. Thursday, sunny, a high of 76. Right now, 66 at 7:51.
Mark Tauscher on Wisconsin's Morning News is sponsored by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Tauscher out this week. ESPN Wisconsin's Jason Wilde is in. You dry out yet? My goodness, it rained and rained during Packers training camp practice yesterday. Monsoon-style rain, and they stayed outside, Wilde.
Yeah, never seen anything like it. So this is year 29 for me. I think there's two others that have done this longer. Tom Silverstein from the Journal-Sentinel, who I think started in 89, and Pete Doherty from the Press-Gazette, who started in 93. And the three of us were talking once we were no longer quite as waterlogged. And I don't think any coach during any of our tenures has ever kept the team practicing outside when the rain was that. I mean, it was nonstop for an hour. And there wasn't lightning, so I guess that was the reasoning. But I'm a helicopter parent. Tausch knows that better than anybody. He gives me a hard time about it. But I'm also a helicopter beat writer. And the whole time I'm thinking, God, what if all you need is one guy to slip, and it doesn't – I'm not saying like an ACL tear, but like slippery grass, suddenly you got a groin pull or a hamstring pull from somebody who's really important. I was surprised, and I know the players were very surprised that they stayed out there through the whole storm.
What do you suppose the point was? Is this like a character builder? Here you go, young men. Good. Why did you experience this? I mean, what was the deal?
Just make sure that the media was miserable was, I'm sure, part of it.
You know what, man? We wouldn't put it past them.
And that I got ridiculed because I had a really nice poncho and my umbrella from the 1996 hockey Final Four. I was being called by my colleagues a soccer mom. I look like a soccer mom at his kids' games, which I didn't appreciate, but I've been called worse. And I was drier than the rest of those knuckleheads, so I was pretty happy about that. Look, I do think that Matt LaFleur's thought process was, A, they didn't expect it to last as long as they did. Maybe if he had a do-over, he would change it. We'll ask him this morning. But B, hey, football's played in adverse conditions. And that was one of the conversations I had with the quarterbacks, with the long snapper, with the center, Josh Myers. And that is, you have to be ready for that kind of weather. It could happen during the course of the season. So I think that will be the explanation as to why they stayed out. I'm still not sure that it was worth the risk that there was to those players.
Jason, so Packers bloggers are all abuzz over the possibility of maybe a white Packers alternate helmet being used this season. What are you hearing about this?
So here's what's interesting about this, because for a while the NFL had this rule citing player safety that if you did a different uniform, you still had to keep your same helmet for safety concerns because guys are specially fitted for their helmets. And I heard that and I thought, well, just fit them for another helmet. Is that you're a $15 billion company? Like, what are we doing? But so yes, I know that there's a lot of excitement about that. I know there's other teams that have other helmet plans. I know, for example, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were finally able to wear the old Bucco Bruce helmet instead of their. What's interesting about this, though, is that, and I think you've heard the same thing, obviously this idea of these white helmets. The Packers, it's always throwback stuff when it comes to different uniforms, right? It's always reaching back into history. And there is part of me that would just love to see them do something really, really fun and futuristic. Instead, I know they've got a rich history, but it would be really fun for them to get to the point where they can do something kind of looking into the future and try something new.
I'm glad you said that because that's kind of how I look at it. Vince and I are a little indifferent on whether or not this helmet looks nice or not, but I just appreciate them trying something like this. Like, why not go for it? And you wear it twice, maybe at most, and who cares?
Yeah, and it's funny. I think back to some of their throwbacks. I remember on Thanksgiving they had these like really ugly brown hope-colored pants.
Yeah, horrible.
and poor Mike Daniels sweated through them, and it looked like he'd had a bit of an accident on the field. And so, but they still wore the weird yellow helmets. And then there was a time where they like painted them brown, so they looked like leather helmets.
Yeah.
I mean, this is fun. It's different, and anything that gets your fans excited, you need to do more of it, not less.
Okay, last thing for you, Wildy. Jordan Love. I mean, what's up, man? Day 3.
He was soaking. He was again. I know I praised him and talked about his teammates' support yesterday, but he was out there in the monsoon like the rest of us. Like he had the white T-shirt, long sleeve T-shirt on, and it was soaked all the way through. I will say this: the offense lost to the defense yesterday. And my favorite part of the practice was one of the defensive players when the offensive guys had to do push-ups, somebody else, come on, Love, you got to do the push-ups too.
In fact, it's your fault.
And he did. All right.
Exactly.
ESPN Wisconsin's Jason Wilde instead of Mark Tauscher. Tausch is out this week. We'll talk again tomorrow, Jason.
Can't wait. All right, guys, take care. Be good.
Heads up, if you would like to see what this alternate helmet may look like, just text the word helmet to the WTMJ Talking Text line, 855-616-1620.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Consider it a food hall for beer. Three Sheeps, Hacienda, and Door County Brewing partnered to create the Triple Tap Room and Kitchen, which will serve beers from all three breweries on North Avenue. Developers are proposing a 107-room hotel in the Village of Summers. The project would also include 2 restaurants and a gas station with a convenience store. A $45 million plan to replace a church in the heart of downtown Wauwatosa with 153 apartments is moving forward after the city approved designs for the project. Three Leaves Partners plans to break ground in late 2024. I'm Drew Dawson with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
WTMJ's Julia Fellow here for Elmbrook Family Dental. I wanted to tell you the news. They not only have 2 beautiful locations in Brookfield I just went to, there's a 3rd dental office under construction right now, opening soon in Wauwatosa. Go to elmbrookfamilydental.com. Their new Wauwatosa dental office is being built right now near Research Park, and it's set to open August 1st. Go to elmbrookfamilydental.com. You don't have to wait months to get in. It's a one-stop shop for the entire family. That's elmbrookfamilydental.com.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. You can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Annex Wealth Management. Investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning from a fee-only fiduciary. Forgive commission sales pitches and financial products you don't need. Know the difference. Annex provides elite comprehensive financial planning customized to who you are and what you need. AnnexWealth.com.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper-Fi.
SemperFiRoofing.com.
Old rivals face off one more time to settle the score.
High fly ball, deep right field. Suzuki back at the track. Gone! Willie Adames.
The Brewers are in Chicago to take on the Cubs. Our coverage finishes up today at 12:35 on your home for the Brewers. News Radio 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
8 o'clock, I'm Vince Vitrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. Wednesday, July 24th, our top story, a nationwide address from the Oval Office.
I'm Erik Bilstad. Everyone's walking around in a haze today.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Southbound on 43, slowing from Silver Spring all the way down past Capitol Drive. The northbound side's backed up from Kilbourne all the way up to Keefe. Westbound 94 backing up from 20th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. The eastbound side on and off the brakes basically from 84th Street through to 35th. And on 4394 northbound, got some delays coming out of the Plainfield curve all the way up past the KK River crossing. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Mostly sunny skies today. Slight chance this afternoon of a shower and a high of 75 degrees. Mainly clear and cooler tonight. Low down to 62. Milwaukee temp at 68. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, President Biden preparing to address the nation. It'll be an Oval Office speech about his decision not to seek re-election. Ed O'Keefe from CBS News.
He wants to talk directly to all of you, to the American people, to talk about what's next. And so I know he's looking forward to doing that.
Now, beyond that, the White House isn't sharing many details about tonight, but the speech could end up being among one of the most remembered moments of the Biden presidency, as he's expected to finally explain why, after insisting for so long he would be a candidate, his mind changed in the last week.
WTMJ will have the president's address for you. ABC News coverage begins at 7 o'clock this evening.
Ian West Ellis.
I am jazzed as hell to be welcoming
Vice President Kamala Harris beginning her presidential bid.
Energized supporters stood for the VP's entire speech and held newly printed Kamala signs. VP Kamala Harris told the crowd for Wisconsin to turn blue, she must have a big turnout in Milwaukee. The message each speaker kept hammering is that Harris is a prosecutor and the former president, Donald Trump, is the prosecuted.
I know Donald Trump's type.
An offensive approach to her campaign to start, with 104 days left to Election Day. Julia Fellow, WTMJ News.
Change at the top of the ticket for the Democrats. Big business for one company in southeast Wisconsin.
Dodco Inc. makes the wire that supports yard signs. Those Biden signs will now need to be replaced with Harris signs. New signs get new wire. Owner Stephen Dudlick says it's a fun way to make a living.
It's rewarding. I've actually gone up to some of the political figures and had a picture taken to show my guys. I explained that we've produced wires for their campaign.
And Dodco's chasing it this year because next year, well, not so much.
The only groups I'll probably get are church groups and or rummage sale sign wires.
John Merkier, WTMJ News.
The search for the next police chief of Austin, Texas is down to 2 finalists. One of them is Milwaukee Police Chief Jeffrey Norman.
Chief Norman is a lifetime resident of the city of Milwaukee and says community engagement is what makes him the best candidate for the Austin position.
I know you all did the research on me. I do this morning, noon, night, even with dessert, because it's important for you to be, as a leader, to be at the tip of the arrow, to lean in, to show everyone else that this can be done.
Austin's city manager will choose between Norman and Cincinnati Assistant Police Chief Lisa Davis next Tuesday. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Dozens of wildfires burning in the western part of the U.S. and Canada, including the 4 so-called mega fires in eastern Oregon. That's affecting air quality across the country, causing hazy skies. You may be noticed here in Wisconsin. Jonathan Vigliotti from CBS News.
It looks like it's going to be another monster of a fire year here in the Pacific Northwest.
Holly Craig is with the U.S. Forest Service.
The forest and grasslands are tinder dry, and when you add 2,000 lightning strikes in 48 hours, that's bound to cause really hot, intense, and fast-moving wildfires.
National Weather Service says pollutants from the smoke would have to move closer to the surface to become more of a concern here locally. Your complete WTMJ 5-day forecast through the morning here on WTMJ.
The latest issue to plague Waupun Correctional Institute is its drinking water. Video from an inmate inside the prison that was obtained by TMJ4 News shows yellowish brown water coming out of the tap.
It looks disgusting. It almost looks like wastewater.
Waupun Mayor Ron Bishop, the Wisconsin Department of Corrections recently issued warnings for high radium levels in the prison's well water. The DOC says in a statement they are working with the DNR to address the problem.
Coming up, a new effort to spruce up Milwaukee's Riverwalk. Signing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 8:05.
News is sponsored by BBC Lighting. Thousands of specialty light fixtures open Monday through Saturday.
Hi folks, this is Hank Albert, owner of BBC Lighting. Now that we're into the festival season, the festivals at BBC Lighting are bigger than ever. Our huge showroom is filled with all the latest lights and ceiling fans, including the newest LED styles, crystal chandeliers, table and floor lamps, mirrors, and outdoor lights. And don't forget about our lampshade and repair departments. BBC is a festival of lighting, and our prices are the lowest. I guarantee it. There's something for everyone at BBC, including fun for the kids and our famous free popcorn. BBC is open Monday through Friday from 9 to 5 and on Saturday from 10 to 4. We're located at 20th and St. Paul Avenue, across from Sobelman's and Bachman Furniture, all near the Potawatomi Casino. Stay safe and healthy, my friends.
Church and Chapel Funeral Homes. Comfortable locations, comfortable people. Church and Chapel Funeral Homes. There's one near you.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:06.
Short-term rentals in Milwaukee could soon be subject to more regulations. Milwaukee Common Council is talking about it, perhaps considering new rules that would include requiring operators of rentals, like Airbnbs, for example, to actually live in the properties in which they rent out. Comes in response to complaints about loud parties and other nuisance behavior linked to short-term rentals.
Chance for Milwaukee artists to showcase their talent on Milwaukee's Riverwalk.
Milwaukee Downtown Bid number 21 is asking for artist proposals to create 4 permanent murals along the Riverwalk. Director of Public Space Initiatives Eric Green says they're hoping to engage pedestrians and waterway traffic.
This project in particular is meant to be reflective of that natural beauty and of the unique neighborhood context in which each of these mural sites is.
The installations will extend from Mason Street to Knapp Street. One site is modeled off of a Riverwalk project in San Antonio.
One of the murals that they did was painted from the river, and that it will be the same for that mural at the Marcus Center.
Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
It's got to be tough, though, to decide what artist is going to do which mural and how that all goes, and how do you know the artist is going to do the job you need them to
right.
do?
Oh, that's what... it's wonderful.
A smiley face,
My thing with the Riverwalk is, and I think it's wonderful that we've expanded it and all those things.
Yeah.
We need more businesses to be river facing, accessible from the river. Like there has to be sort of more opportunity to interact with business, whether it's food vendors or place to get drinks or even things that you can go in and out of that face the river as opposed to Water Street or Plankinton on the other side or depending on what you have. So like more stuff to do as opposed to just walk. Although the art is nice.
Yeah.
See? There you go. Why do you look at me like that? Like, Vitrano's big ideas for Milwaukee again.
I think it's a great idea. It totally would bring in pedestrian traffic.
8:08 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
This report is sponsored by Diamonds Direct. Your love, their passion.
You're not going to want to miss this. Diamonds Direct summer sale starts this weekend. For 3 days only, this Friday through Sunday. Get 20% off rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, and more. Plus, book an appointment and get an additional $100 off. And designers are flying in from New York and LA to showcase their latest trends. That's 20% off, plus $100 off with an appointment and designer trunk shows. Tons of engagement rings on sale, too. 20% off starts Friday. Details at diamondsdirect.com. 3 days only and Sunday.
It's Christmas in July at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. Get sale discounts store-wide all month long. What a great time to shop for all of your Christmas needs. Get your holiday decor and so much more, along with all the great bargains we always have for you. It's Christmas in July at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
WTMJ's Erik Bilstad. It's swimming season, or for some of us, golfing or gardening season, but you're not out there enjoying your favorite hobby because you're sidelined from arthritic joint pain. Bone-on-bone pain in your knees or hips, maybe. Here's what you do. You call QC Kinetics. There are exciting new cellular therapies that can get you the lasting relief you need. QC Kinetics is helping patients all the time. I'm talking cutting-edge treatments that accelerate your own body's healing properties, revitalizing your joints so you can move again. It's not sorcery, it's technology, and you don't need surgery. Call QC Kinetics. The local professionals at QC Kinetics in Greenfield and in Mequon are ready to help you. Here's the phone number, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation. 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today.
10 minutes after 8 on Wisconsin's Morning News. How's morning drive, Deb?
Not horribly bad. I mean, we got some stuff going on. Northbound 4394, for example, right about at Holt Avenue, we got an accident off on the right shoulder. So that's one of the reasons why we got delays coming out of the Plainfield curve. Westbound on 894, well, let's take it back a step. We've got delays basically from before Edgerton on northbound 94 onto westbound 894. All that having to do with the construction zone all the way to 68th Street. It's going to be slow. Eastbound 94 from 84th Street through to 35th. Got that back up. We got the westbound side slowing down from 25th Street out to about Mitchell Boulevard. And then on southbound 43, heavy from Silver Spring all the way down past Keefe. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Slight chance of a shower this afternoon. Otherwise, mostly sunny today with a high of 75 degrees. Cooler skies, cooler conditions tonight under mainly clear skies with a low of 62. Right now at 68 in Milwaukee.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's Erik Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
Coming up on 12 minutes after 8 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Something I thought the University of Wisconsin system could have done better for some time and is making progress in under the administration of Jay Rothman, who is the president of Universities of Wisconsin, is making it more about our young people who live here, making UW, regardless of campus, more accessible, easier to handle, easier to afford for people from Wisconsin. I think it's great that we have international students who travel to UW-Madison and some of the others as well. I think it's great that we have people from all over the country. It's one of the reasons that I think that benefits young people from Wisconsin who go to UW-Madison and meet people from all over. So I'm not suggesting that that's a bad thing, but UW should be about Wisconsin first. And we're going to get some new information today about how some of these campuses are going to reach out directly to prospective students.
The program is called Direct Admit Wisconsin. And what this program does is it admits high school seniors based on a student's GPA and course completion. So what they're going to do, and you got twins that are junior or going to be seniors. I got my oldest is going to be a senior. We expect these letters at our house here shortly in the next couple of weeks or so that will basically say, hey, Johnny Smith, you can attend this UW school. You can attend those UW schools because of your GPA and course completion. And it would be of, I think there's 10 of them that are all part of it. So like UW-Milwaukee is part of it, Oshkosh, Green Bay, Stevens Point, Stout, Platteville, Whitewater, a couple of the other ones are on this list. They're taking part in this program.
So you're noting the absence of La Crosse, Eau Claire, and University of Wisconsin-Madison.
Those
right?
three, and they could join next year if they wanted to, but those three have said, no, we're not doing this direct admit thing. So they're taking a pass on it. But all these other schools, Superior is on there, will send a letter to students because of their GPA and course completion saying, hey, you could go here. And you don't need to necessarily go through the entire admissions process because you're already admitted if you'd like to attend.
I think it's a win-win. It's a win for the system and then a win for students. I mean, you mentioned, like, does this really change anything for a student? I suppose if I were a prospective student, so you're looking at incoming seniors this year, high school seniors,
yes.
right? Maybe they would consider, look, if I already know I hadn't thought of going to UW Green Bay, but GB says I'm in, maybe it's at least worth a visit. It might broaden the horizon or open a door that they hadn't considered before,
right.
Since they already know they're in, as opposed to where you and I have been right now with our young ones. You know, as you mentioned, Eric and I both have, my twins are going to be seniors, and your oldest is going to be a senior. You know, we're doing the college tours ahead of the don't know if I'd even get in here.
Right.
And so now you can, if you already know you're in, say, all right, well, that's worth a visit.
It doesn't go off of ACT scores or SAT scores or anything like that. It just goes off of your GPA. Now, it does say, though, that a student may need to submit test scores to their selected UW school for scholarships or course placement. So depending on what you want to do at said school, you might have to submit some of this other stuff. I like it. It's a great idea. At least, if anything, it opens the door to start the process for someone who may not even think that they're capable of. I mean, UW-Milwaukee, that's a school that someone may not even consider. And, okay, UWM just sent me a letter saying, hey, you can come here. Why don't you come over and take a look?
And to your point, there's a lot more to figure out for those prospective students and families once you know you're in. Then there's the financial aid package. There's the sticker price, and then there's what we can get that price down to. There's the further investigation of, do they have what I'm looking for? All of those things. So no one's suggesting that you get this letter in the mail and you just go sign up. There's part of the process, but I think it definitely streamlines that process. In addition to filling out those applications, it's easier than it used to be because now you have, what do they call it, the Common App,
yes,
where you do sort of one essay that many schools can take since they're all asking you the same thing. So why do you have to write 38 essays? Write one essay and use that for your applications and things like that. So they've streamlined the process, but this further does that for students. And it's stressful. Like families who have been through this already and us who are in the throes of it, stressful getting it all done, especially since a lot of these young people are involved in stuff.
Of course.
So,
of course.
Well, okay, take a weekend in fall to go visit this school or that. Well, you know, my daughter is in what are the girls' sports in fall? Tennis? Yeah, girls play tennis, and my daughter's in tennis. Well, we can't go this weekend. She's got tournaments and matches. Kids playing football. Yep. We can't go during the football season.
Programs.
Now you're in November.
Yeah,
and you're like, oh, we got to get moving on
this.
this.
You start stressing a little bit. Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yikes.
It'll be very interesting to hear what happens today with this. There's a news conference being held today by the UW system and with an update on the situation. So I'm not sure what we'll hear today. Try to get some details on this, whether or not it's, okay, here's when you can expect the letters. Here's how this is going to move forward. They'll change it every year. If a school wants to drop out or drop in to this, it would be next year. Like if Madison said, you know what? We'll send that letter out. They'll do that. I doubt Madison will ever participate.
And in fairness to Madison, the numbers are so overwhelming for how many apply, and they only have room for so many.
Boy, it would be nice, though, to get that letter.
To just know, right? Sure would be nice, right? To waiting until whenever you have to. I think it's interesting, too, when you mentioned Whitewater is on there. I mean, how Whitewater has turned things around in the last couple of decades.
It's a nice campus.
When I was a kid, when I was coming out of high school, it was like nobody went to Whitewater. I mean, people obviously went there, but that wasn't anybody's, like, oh, I absolutely want to go. I know a ton of kids, my kids' age, who are going to Whitewater now. They're excited about going to Whitewater. They want to go there, whether it's to play sports or do other things. A couple of programs. Business school now is really popular. So just talk about a campus that's sort of changed its story over the last couple of decades.
Trying to think of other states that are similar to UC, like everything with California, they got a system that's pretty big. A lot of different University of California schools and other ones that Illinois is a little bit different.
I've told this story before, but I definitely think a state school system ought to be about that state's students first. And I had my wife's cousins, they had a daughter who ended up going to Tennessee, but I know they were down at, I think it was University of Texas. So is that Austin, right, where UT is? So they're down there for a tour because she just had in her head, like, kind of my daughter feels like, I want to go somewhere for school. Like she's looked at a couple of schools in Wisconsin, may end up somewhere, but she's also has this idea in her head of, like, I want an experience and I want it to be outside the state.
And it has to be 1,000 miles away.
Right. First of all, you're on a national tour. It's been 3 big trips, two to the southeast, and my wife and her just got back from Arizona.
Oh, my gosh. Sounds expensive.
Yeah, I said to my wife, I'm like, do we have to say yes to all these? I mean, like, God bless her. She's worked really hard, and,
My kid was in North Carolina, same thing. I'm like, I
got 2 words for that, nice. Virtual tour, right? Okay. But the thing about Texas, so they're down there at Austin, and they do this 3-hour tour, and they said it was an amazing tour, and they get to the end, and the tour guide says, now, I just want to thank all of you all who are from out of state, visiting the University of Texas. But what I got to say to you is good luck, because and I can't remember what the number was, 97 or 98 or whatever, 90-something% of our students who go to the University of Texas are from the great state of Texas.
Really?
He's like, not room for most of you, so good luck.
Well, thanks for telling us now.
Yeah, that should have been the front end of the tour. Why don't y'all go have lunch?
You do wonder, too, whether or not pricing will end up changing in some fashion, if there'll be, because there's been a lot of discussion about enrollment at different schools. We've seen schools closing, at least some smaller campuses or satellite campuses closing. At what point does that play a larger role into things? Are tuitions going to go down because of this inability to pay for a lot of this stuff when it comes to a lot of folks and different people that are trying to go to school? All that's going to come into play at some point.
Pendulum has to swing back because it got so expensive for so long. 8:21 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Let's get an update here on the Morning Drive, Debbie.
All right. Well, we do have this accident on northbound 4394, right about at Holt Avenue, off on the right shoulder. So delays going back into the Plainfield curve. We've got westbound 894 backing up out of the Mitchell interchange all the way to 68th Street. Eastbound 94 is still backed up from 84th all the way to 35th. The westbound side's starting to get a little bit better. Still heavy from about 25th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
There's only one place to go for your full post-game Brewers breakdown. Brewers Extra Innings with Dom Catronio.
But they don't give out trophies for how good or how bad you play in July.
In-depth analysis on every game. Hear from the manager, Pat Murphy, and a whole lot of highlights.
Swing and a miss! He struck him out! Trevor McGill!
Catch Brewers Extra Innings after every Brewers game on the home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
Vince Vitrano for 2-day painting. Saw a guy out the other day painting in his house. Didn't look like a professional job, just somebody out there painting the house. Reminded me of my dad. He painted our the full exterior of our 2-story brick home in Wauwatosa one summer. It took him literally all summer. He was up on that ladder, whole summer burnt, gone.
Maybe he enjoyed himself up there.
Well, there's probably some joy in the solitude. They can't talk to me up here. Don't bother your dad. He's painting. Fine. Don't want to burn your whole summer doing a job like that or any. For any painting job, inside or out, you want 2-day painting. You don't have to burn the whole weekend, weeks, or the whole summer doing it yourself. And you don't go with one of these companies that drags their feet. They got a contractor for this and somebody else for that, and these guys are here for a couple of days, and then it's a week off, and then some more guys. 2-day painting is committed to staffing your job with a crew that knocks it out in a timely manner. I brought 2-day painting into my home for a big project this spring. I recommend them for yours. Painting projects inside and out, and here's a special deal. You take advantage of the summer special right now, 15% off the cost of your project when you tell them Vinny sent you. And there's more, 10% back up to $1,000 that you can spend on a winter job this year. 262-706-1135. That's 262-706-1135, 2daypainting.com.
Cheese doodles, Mr. Nougat Bar. Oh, here we go. 4-door hatchback.
Some things are fine to buy from a vending machine, but a car's not one of them. That national online company makes it seem convenient, but it won't be so convenient if you have a problem with the vehicle you buy. And if it's after 7 days, good luck. Adam member dealers also let you search online, plus test drive the vehicle before you buy it. And they're right here to handle any issues.
What? The car's stuck. No!
Start your search at adamm.com.
David Nason of The Fix-It Show here with my friend Chris Mancuso of Accurate Basement Repair.
Hey, David, did you know it's been the third wettest spring here in Milwaukee, like since 1870?
Seriously? Tell us more.
Well, it's a great time to get down in that basement and take the smell test. If it smells musty, take a flashlight, take a look around, see what you have.
As a home inspector, I know firsthand, do not procrastinate. Have your basement looked at ASAP or visit AccurateBasementRepair.com because they're not just good, they're accurate.
I was stuffed up. It was almost like someone put a clothespin over my nose. As an athlete, it did affect my performance. And as I got older, the congestion and poor sleep really took their toll.
Mike's a lifetime athlete. After hearing about Advent, he felt he could finally find a solution to his breathing triangle problems.
With my congestion, the kind of sleep I was getting wasn't allowing me to function the way I wanted to.
When your nose isn't working like it should be, it's going to negatively affect your sleep. And then you really can't be at your best at anything that you're doing.
It's been about 5 years since coming to Advent, and what balloon sinuplasty did for my quality of life, that step I took was one of the best decisions I've ever made.
Balloon sinuplasty can help solve your breathing triangle problems, which will help you sleep better. And that's going to help you live a better quality of life.
Unlock your potential. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment. Because when you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Results may vary.
WTMJ forecast sponsored by Dane Trade Camp. Remember where comfort is their family's tradition. Pretty nice stretch here. We got through the rain. I didn't get any rain last night. We dipped just to the south. Need it.
Yeah, I think we missed it too.
Amazing. After all the rain that we've had, doesn't take long for it to get
a little crispy.
I mean, I went from spring through about a week ago to having put the sprinklers out on my lawn twice. And then now it's like, whoa.
Man, you used to complain about the rain. Remember them?
So here's what I got for you. High of 75 degrees today, just a slight chance this afternoon of a shower. And then windows open again tonight, low down to 62. 76 degrees is your high on Thursday. And then we warm up to a high of 80 on Friday, 83 on Saturday. Sunday's high back up to 85 with a slight chance of a shower in the afternoon. So today, a couple of big speeches in Washington. I don't have a timing on this. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is in Washington this week. He is due to address a joint session of Congress today.
Call it a BB Blitz. After speaking to a joint meeting of Congress today, the Israeli Prime Minister will meet with President Biden at the White House tomorrow and travel to Mar-a-Lago Friday to meet with former President Trump. We're told Vice President Harris will also sit with Netanyahu at some point. Security for his speech to lawmakers today will be extremely tight, with police officers from as far away as New York heading down here to Washington to assist Capitol Police.
That's ABC's Stephen Portnoy. Eric, you found at 1 p.m. our time.
Yep, 1 p.m. Central is when he's
that address.
Supposed to address Congress.
Netanyahu earlier this week met with families of Israeli Americans whose loved ones are still being held hostage by Hamas. Apparently, Vice President Kamala Harris is due to skip the address due to the optics. You have Democrats divided over the war in Israel, but she is planning to meet with Netanyahu, as you heard Portnoy report today.
How does that conversation go? Because he's also going to meet with President Biden. Right. He's expected to meet with former President Trump. Is it like a job interview?
Who's interviewing who?
Yeah.
Right? Well, and it does create a little bit of an issue because, there's only one person who dictates national policy right now in terms of what's happening in Israel. That's the president. Who is the president now? But that person is not going to be president in a matter of months. So, right. And how do you balance Democrat, Republican?
And how much do I need to listen to you if you're not going to be in office much longer?
So which meeting is more important, the meeting today with President Biden or the meetings that he's going to have with Vice President Harris and former President Trump?
Yeah.
Because they're the ones who are going to lead things into the future. President Biden, meanwhile, is back at the White House.
Why did you drop out of the election?
I love that. Board in Air Force One, and a reporter shouts, why did you drop out? Well, he's supposed to answer that question in a speech to the nation tonight. It will be delivered from the Oval Office. ABC News senior White House correspondent Selena Wang.
This speech is going to be about his decision to drop out of this race and why he did that, as well as his plans for the rest of his term. A source close to the president tells me that he's been working on this speech for the past day and huddling with his speechwriting team at the White House. I'm told that this speech is going to be emotional and coming from the president's heart.
You would hope that it would be largely devoid, and everything is politics when you're dealing with politicians, but it can't be a campaign speech. An address to the nation has a special place. It's why the networks say, okay, when the president says, I need to speak to the nation, they move things around, they accommodate that and whatever. It can't be just an overtly political speech. You have to probably expect that he's going to formally and publicly endorse Vice President Harris for the thing and talk about that, but I'd like to hear more. If he's going to address the nation, tell us why you reached this decision. Tell us how the rest of your presidency is going to go.
And why did it take so long to come to this decision? I mean, how much were the outside factors at play? The donors, those other Democratic leadership positions who were pushing for this?
WTMJ will carry that news coverage from ABC of the president's address this morning. That's at 7 o'clock right here on WTMJ. Who had a better day in Wisconsin? Vice President Harris or Governor Evers?
Ooh. On the Tony Evers excitement scale that goes from holy mackerel and maxes out at heck yes, I am jazzed as hell to be welcoming.
Just a point of order on that. I didn't catch where jazzed as hell falls in the scale.
That would be the highest?
That would be,
right?
He said the highest was excited as heck or whatever.
I am jazzed as hell.
Where is that? Is that in the middle? No, that should be the highest, right?
Maybe
it was off the chart.
Before she even got to Wisconsin on Tuesday, had a good morning.
Wisconsin, I am told as of this morning that we have earned the support of enough delegates to secure the Democratic nomination.
And then she announced Evers was her VP. I'm just kidding. No, she did not. He is not the VP.
Absolutely.
He is not the VP pick.
For so many reasons.
That'll likely be one of the other big news storylines here coming up. Probably not for a couple of days. Maybe they'll wait this week out and do it next week, but we'll learn who her running mate will be. She did say during her speech in West Dallas that Badger State obviously very much in play.
The path to the White House goes through Wisconsin.
So history, 2 weeks in a row, right here in southeast Wisconsin in Milwaukee County. We had the RNC last week, and we had the presumed Democratic nominee here for her first campaign stop yesterday.
On that vice presidential pick, it has to be within a couple of weeks, though, right? They have to do that
get moving,
ahead of their convention because they do the formal nominating in early August. Mm-hmm. So maybe not today or the next couple of days, but pretty soon.
You think before the end of the week? You got president speaking tonight.
I'd do it early next. Let this settle out. They're hitting their stride now. She's going to do the rallies. They're gonna enjoy that bump, spread it out, and then early next is when we say, all right, here it is. They'll get it solidified over the weekend. They call all the people.
And then the former President Trump's campaign, they'll also find some news pegs in there as well because you need to stay in the news cycle And there's no doubt that former President Trump will find a way to stay in the cycle, too.
He is in Charlotte, North Carolina for a rally today. 8:31 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
Heart disease won't stop us. Diabetes won't slow us down. Allergies, high blood pressure, shoulder pain, cancer. Nothing will keep us from pushing Wisconsin ahead. Because with the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, forward progress is what we stand for. That means always pushing and always innovating. With new technologies and breakthrough treatments that make life better, whether we're sick or well. It means providing more convenience and more ways to receive medical excellence for all your health needs, for big and small. It means being there for you, our family, caring for yours. So let's keep raising the bar. Let's keep testing the limits of what medicine can do. Let's push ahead and make life here as great as it can be. Visit Freighter.com to find out how.
It's Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Rewards Member Appreciation Event. While we offer unbeatable deals every day, now through July 31st, we're showing extra appreciation to our rewards members with exclusive deals. Like 40-pound bags of Blaine's Black Oil Sunflower Seeds, $17.99. Rewards members save an extra $2. Assorted Hillman Hardware, 20% off for rewards members. Get $3 rewards savings on select Blaine's brand dog food. Not a rewards member? Sign up today. Don't miss our Rewards Member Appreciation Event going on now at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
The famous Fox & Hounds restaurant in Hubertus is hiring reliable, hardworking cleaners. You'll make real money in a friendly atmosphere, working all morning hours. It's a great part-time job. Inquire today and start next week. FoxandHoundsRestaurant.com. FoxandHoundsRestaurant.com.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Veterans benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback. Brave Americans who served shouldn't be denied benefits or have a disability claim incorrectly evaluated by the VA. If you're one of those vets, call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
8:34, I'm Vince Vitrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News, Wednesday, July 24th. Our top story, a primetime presidential address.
I'm Erik. Bilstad, an Olympic-sized win for Salt Lake City.
I'm Debbie Loziga, southbound on 43, hitting the brakes just south of Silver Spring, all the way down past Keefe. Northbound slowing down from North Avenue up to Keefe. Westbound 94 has got delays from 25th Street, pretty much all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. The eastbound side's backed up from just east of 84th all the way to 35th. Westbound 894 heavy out of the Mitchell interchange to about 68th. And that earlier accident on northbound 4394 around Holt has been cleared up. Delays are still sticking around, though. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Mostly sunny skies today. Chance this afternoon of a shower with a high of 75 degrees. Low temperature down to 62 tonight. And Milwaukee's at 68 right now from the WTMJ Breaking News Center. President Biden set to address the nation. It'll be an Oval Office speech tonight, days after he announced he was no longer seeking re-election.
President Biden tonight will explain to the American people why he withdrew from the presidential race. He told his former campaign team on Monday he made the right decision.
It's the right thing to do.
The president is now a lame duck, but tonight he'll lay out his agenda. He's insisted he's not going anywhere.
I've got 6 months left in my presidency. I'm determined to get as much done as I possibly can, both foreign policy and domestic policy.
Karen Travers, ABC News, Washington.
We will carry that speech live for you 7 o'clock tonight right here on WTMJ.
This afternoon, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu will address Congress on Capitol Hill. CBS correspondent Cameron McCormick reports that he's facing growing pressure to end the conflict and the war in Gaza.
Relatives of hostages held in Gaza chanted, "Bring them home now and seal the deal." The brother of one of the hostages said it's a message to Netanyahu, but also U.S. lawmakers.
This is an urgent issue and it needs to be solved right now. This is the last chance.
The protesters want Israel to agree to the latest ceasefire deal.
Vice President Kamala Harris will skip today's speech. She will attend a campaign event in Indiana. She is expected to meet face-to-face with the Israeli Prime Minister later this week.
Questions still in the wake of the attempted assassination on former President Donald Trump earlier this month. Retired Secret Service agent Don Mihalik talked with us here on Wisconsin's Morning News this morning. Said the job of the department is risk mitigation, not risk elimination.
They've taken President Trump when he was president to combat zones. They've taken Obama and Bush to combat zones, and they just took President Biden to Israel. The Secret Service can do its job if the security plan is such that it has every mitigation factor in place and everybody involved in the security plan is doing their job.
Now, former Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheadle resigning from the post on Tuesday called the assassination attempt the department's worst failure in decades.
An update to a story we first told you about on Wisconsin's Morning News Monday morning. The Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office is asking for the public's help in their investigation of a deadly shooting at Deneen Park on the city's northwest side. A 17-year-old girl killed. 9 other youths were hurt in that shooting. Sheriff's Office asking that anyone with information about that incident, particularly cell phone video, come forward. You may recall this was from a car party heard on social media to gather at the park, and that's when the shooting occurred. The Sheriff's Office has referred to this as a multi-shooter incident.
A 10-year clock has begun ticking in Salt Lake City, the capital of Utah, picked to host the 2034 Winter Olympic Games.
Salt Lake has gotten the nod despite the huge scandal that came with the city's winning bid for the 2002 Winter Games and U.S. efforts to undermine the authority of the World Anti-Doping Agency, WADA. Utah Governor Spencer Cox promised Olympic organizers,
"We will work incredibly hard over the next 10 years to solve the concerns with WADA."
The choice of Salt Lake City to host the 2034 Games was a foregone conclusion since it was the only place that submitted a bid. That didn't temper Cox's enthusiasm.
We're back, baby.
Jim Ryan, ABC News.
Tennis player Coco Gauff will join LeBron James as a flag bearer during the opening ceremonies in Paris on Friday. Time now for news about your money and the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Right now, the Dow is starting down 138, the NASDAQ starting down 321, and the S&P starting down 59. Get an honest opinion of where you are financially and where you're headed. Work with a fee-only fiduciary. Start at annexwealth.com.
Coming up, 3 dags in the... Man, I screwed it up, Erik.
All right, in 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1. Coming up, 3 days in the bags pile. That story next on Wisconsin's Morning News.
This report is sponsored by Diamonds Direct. Your love, their passion.
You're not going to want to miss this. Diamonds Direct summer sale starts this weekend. For 3 days only, this Friday through Sunday. Get 20% off rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, and more. Plus, book an appointment and get an additional $100 off. And designers are flying in from New York and LA to showcase their latest trends. That's 20% off, plus $100 off with an appointment and designer trunk shows. Tons of engagement rings on sale, too. 20% off starts Friday. Details at diamondsdirect.com. 3 days only and Sunday.
Baird has invested in the vitality of downtown Milwaukee for over a century. Hi, I'm Mary Ellen Stanek, president of Baird Funds. Baird is a world-class financial services firm. As one of downtown's largest employers, we believe in supporting the communities we serve. We're proud to call downtown our home, and even prouder to elevate our city's world-class amenities with a new convention center. Experience it for yourself. Go to MilwaukeeDowntown.com.
Wait now or wait a little longer. You may have just increased your lifetime income by tens of thousands of dollars. That's how Social Security can work for you. The longer you wait, the more money you may get. Deciding when to start taking your Social Security benefits is one of the most important retirement decisions you'll make. Our team at Drake & Associates can show you the options and help make the right decision for your situation. You spent decades paying in. Optimize what comes out. Drake & Associates can help you squeeze every penny out of your Social Security benefits. Claim your free retirement-ready toolkit that has guides on Social Security. To get our complimentary toolkit, call or text SS to 414-409-9982. That's calling or texting SS to 414-409-9982.
Investment advisory services provided by Drake & Associates, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Insurance products are offered through a separate company, Loft Financial Advisory Group, LLC, a Wisconsin insurance agency. Clients are under no obligation to purchase any recommended insurance products.
.841 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Who's the CNN reporter you said has spent 3 days in the pile of bags?
Oh, Isabel Rosales.
She was just on CNN here in the studio, and she's standing by all these bags of luggage
at the airport
that are stranded somewhere with their passengers who knows where due to this IT outage.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you're right. For 3 days, she's been on that story.
Yeah, she's been in the bags pile.
The pile of bags.
She does her stand-up, and she's walking amongst 1,000 bags that are all sitting there. Yes, and it's all because of Delta. Delta Airlines experiencing tech troubles again on Tuesday, days after that historic outage, and they cannot get back on track.
This has created a domino effect of cancellations and delays. Between Friday and now, we've seen over 6,000 flight cancellations with Delta specifically, and the DOT estimates that over 500,000 people have been impacted.
500,000. That's ABC's Clara McMichael on the ABC podcast. So they've gotten more than 3,000 complaints, and obviously it's going to take a lot of time to work through that. And now the DOT, they have to look into this, says Pete Buttigieg.
People being on hold for hours and hours trying to get a new flight, people having to sleep on airport floors, even accounts of unaccompanied minors being stranded in airports, unable to get on a flight.
Yeah, it's no good if your kid is stuck someplace and they cannot find another place. Yeah. And we're hearing from travelers as well.
My flight, it got canceled at 2 p.m., got put back on time, delayed, and I showed up to the gate and it got canceled again.
So many airlines were affected when this all happened on Friday, right? The cybersecurity company CrowdStrike sent that faulty update to more than 8 million Microsoft computers, and everyone was able to get back, but Delta's comeback has been the slowest. Absolutely. I mean, hundreds of cancellations again on Tuesday. How is it going to look today? Hopefully it gets better. They are apologizing. CrowdStrike is apologizing. By the way, the CEO of CrowdStrike is going to testify before Congress in the coming days.
He's not going to have a good day.
Not sure what the CEO is going to say. Might get just yelled at. But we do know from the DOT that Delta now, they got to look into it.
We informed Delta today that DOT is launching an investigation into the breakdown of operations.
The airline expects to return to normal operations by the end of the week.
Oh. Sticking with aviation, how about this for a story? How soon until your Uber driver is a pilot? That story next.
Checking the skies now, Debbie Lazica.
Well, they're up there.
Yes.
Yes, sorry, Bob. All right, southbound on 43, slowing down from Silver Spring all the way down past Keefe. Northbound, just a little pocket of heavy traffic from Locust to Keefe. Westbound on 94, slowing from about 25th Street all the way past the Stadium interchange to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound's backed up from about 84th to 35th. Westbound 894 has been kind of a difficult ride this morning. Part of the problem was the general delays because of the construction through there. But now we've also got on the ramp from southbound 94 to eastbound 894 to southbound 94. We got lane closure because of some debris through that area. So it is going to be a little bit on the tight side. Hey, by the way, while you're out navigating the roads as quickly and safely as possible, if you see something we should know about, call the WTMJ Hall Volkswagen Traffic Tip Line at 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lazica with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
What's great about America? Football, free refills, and pizza with cheese baked into the crust. You know what else is great about America? Being who we want to be, living where we want to live, and choosing who we want to do business with. That, my friend, is sweet, sweet freedom. So, Mr. Holland's Home Services is celebrating the month of the free with a deal that you can only get in the good old USA. Through July, purchase a fully warranted, complete comfort system, and Mr. Holland's crew will install a brand new water heater at no extra cost. In other words, it's free. And speaking of free, Mr. Holland's Home Services is offering interest-free financing with approved credit. Declare your independence from oppressive heat and frigid showers. Call today to secure your free water heater with the purchase of a new comfort system. 866-992-1717. Or visit MrHollandsHomeservices.com. If you're ready to party like it's 1776, we can help.
Big plans for the weekend? How about this? Hey, on Saturday, we really got to organize that storage closet.
Oh.
Hey, let's get that garage cleaned out this weekend. Boy, that sounds like a good time. Exactly. Let's change that attitude. We got a special offer for you this month. Vince Vitrano for Inspired Closets Milwaukee, and a great reason to act now. They call it Inspired Closets. Katie and Dan, wife-husband team here. They'd love to see you out at the showroom in Waukesha or pay you an in-home visit. Organization, they say, is not just about tidying up your space. It's about transforming your life. It's true. Reducing clutter can reduce stress. Inspired Closets home solutions, they're not only functional, but they're beautiful as well. A lot of companies do closets. They're all over the internet. You want Inspired Closets Milwaukee because they're local. Katie and Dan and their team, they listen to you. What are your frustrations? What are your needs? What's your budget? That's important. Then they custom design solutions. And with their amazing computer software, they can show you exactly what your project will look like in your home before you buy. Easier than ever to afford. 10% off plus 12 months of free financing on your project when you tell them Vinny sent you. This deal runs through July 31st, so you got to move now. Inspired days start in Inspired Closets. InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
Visit family-owned Ken Michaels Furniture and our in-store design centers where you'll still find beautiful, luxurious, heirloom-quality American-made furniture. Right now, save 30 to 35% store-wide and take advantage of our complimentary design services. Whether you're moving, renovating, or updating, our designers will help your vision become a reality. Visit Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield on Capitol Drive and in Greenfield on Highway 100 to save 30 to 35% store-wide today. Sleep better and save more with mattresses from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in our Milwaukee factory, our mattresses utilize natural materials like cotton cushioning, which dissipates body heat, Joma wool quilts for warm wintry nights and cool summer evenings, and natural latex providing superior conformability and pressure relief for aching joints. Stop in today at any Ken Michaels Furniture store and save up to 50% compared to national brands.
Siding Unlimited, named the best window installers not just here but in the whole USA. Get the best. Siding Unlimited, 3-time winner as America's best window installer. For windows, you call Siding Unlimited first and directly. SidingUnlimited.com.
.849 Wisconsin's Morning News. EAA AirVenture continues this morning, runs through the weekend in Oshkosh. And we talk a lot about the daily air show, so much to see and learn as well about the past and the future of air travel. It's Nerd Super Bowl up there in the best of ways, right?
Welcome, nerds.
For Michael Vincent of NASA, best week ever.
This is my favorite week of the year. So I am an airplane nerd. I'm a pilot. I've loved aviation my whole life, and so being at EAA and talking to the flying public is fun.
Really enjoyed nerding out with this guy. I talked with Vincent, who's an associate project manager for system-wide safety at NASA. He's based out of Langley Research Center in Virginia. So NASA has this huge tent set up there with their experts available, and there are tons of them. Tons of people from NASA just answering any questions. They've got a setup for Artemis, the manned mission to moon, but a bunch of other stuff, and these experts will answer your questions. And if that's not the expert for what you were interested in, they'll go find somebody.
That's awesome.
Like, they're all over the place.
Did you tell them that you've been to space camp?
I seriously thought about it. Well, I used to want to,
I cannot believe you
look
didn't.
me up there in the space. My son was with me, and I didn't want to embarrass him any further than I probably already do on a regular basis.
Fair enough.
So we forget sometimes in the NASA acronym, NASA, the second word is aeronautics. So we think of NASA and the missions to space, but most of what they do is outside that realm. They're just aeronautics in general, research about air travel and different things. So I wanted to know about a couple of projects NASA is working on right now that actually apply to most of us in consumer air travel, things that could affect us in our lifetime. When do I get to fly in more stuff as a consumer?
Well, I think it's starting to happen now. It's not going to happen overnight. The biggest hurdle that we see is safety going forward. Because if you step inside an aircraft, the expectation from the public is that you have a high level of safety.
So you're saying it's different than other things because once you put something up in the air, think about what it is when you get on an airplane now, the whole safety presentation, what they talk about. So think of that level of stuff for anything when we start talking about, How about an air taxi? How about something that picks me up, like an Uber and takes me around? Like, why can't we do that? We have that technology. NASA working on developing that technology further. Probably looks like a super drone. So think of like a little drone, but like massive drone,
blades,
right?
Yeah.
Okay. So instead of a car coming to pick you up, the Uber driver shows up in one of those.
So if you're talking about autonomous flying vehicles in the national airspace and widespread adoption, I would say you're looking at a 15 to 20 year time frame. But for something that has a lower level of autonomy, where the aircraft needs more input from a pilot, you're looking at a little bit shorter time frame.
But within the next couple of decades, you're saying it's possible we're flying around up there.
That's cool. Yeah. It sounds dangerous, but...
Well, hence his thing about the safety, right? Other thing I wanted to ask him about is supersonic flight. We're getting closer to that once again as well for consumers. It's been 20 years since the Concorde was flying.
Now, what was wrong with the Concorde? It never really took?
It took-ish, but it was super expensive, super inefficient, and it's also super loud. That is actual sound of a Concorde on takeoff. So imagine that at Milwaukee Mitchell.
It's over and over and over.
In and out all day, right? All of southeast Wisconsin would have our ears ringing. So there's that, plus there's this. That's a sonic boom for the Concorde. When something travels faster than the speed of sound, when it reaches that threshold,
makes that boom.
Makes that boom. So what's NASA working on? It's the X-59 project, and they're trying to fix that.
It's happening now. There's companies that are building a supersonic transports, and they're just going to sell it to the airlines. And what we're doing with our supersonic aircraft is looking at what the noise levels need to be for that, because these aircraft are going to generate sonic booms, and we need to know what's really acceptable to a widespread swath of the public.
So that's Michael Vincent again with NASA. They're working to turn the sonic boom into what they call a sonic thump. So something that will be quieter, also making the engines overall quieter. Right. And they're going to make this technology. They are now what they've learned and will continue to make that technology available to anybody who wants to use it to work on that supersonic flight. I mean, imagine getting to Florida in an hour instead of 2.5 or whatever.
Well, and you're thinking about overseas. Okay, well, what about like professional sports teams? The more and more this idea of going international, that could be intriguing to the NFL or the Major League Baseball league if they're going to consider trying to play more games overseas.
Great point. Yeah, New York to London on the Concorde was under 3 hours instead of 6+. So, right, get the pack and load that thing up at, Austin Straubel Airport there in Green Bay. And you don't want lots to see on the EAA AirVenture runs daily through Sunday. 18 and under, free admission. Gates open at 7 a.m. Tonight, 8 o'clock, one of the 2 night air shows. The other one coming up on Saturday. Traffic, one more time before 9 o'clock, is sponsored by 2 Men in a Junk Truck, Debbie. Keep what you love, ditch what you don't.
Alrighty, southbound on 43 backing up from before Hampton Avenue, and that stretches down past Capitol. Northbound still a little bit tight between Locust and Keefe. Westbound 94, slowing from 25th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. On the eastbound side's 84th Street to about 35th. And then on westbound 894, we're seeing backups out of the Mitchell interchange all the way to 68th. Just remember, we do have some debris on the roadway from the ramp from 894 eastbound to southbound 94 in the Mitchell interchange. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Wisconsin Volleyball has a new home.
It's Match Point in Madison.
Catch all the excitement of the 2024 season.
Oh my goodness!
And don't miss out on moments like this.
Bacon wide! Point, Wisconsin! What a save by the Badgers! Another Bucky block. Get out of here. It's a block party tonight at the Fieldhouse.
Don't miss any of the action right here on Wisconsin's radio station, 620 WTMJ.
WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here. Summer in Wisconsin. There is nothing better than being outside in Wisconsin in July and in August, whether you're in a lake or you're on the golf course or you're running around chasing your kids or grandkids. There's nothing better. But what sucks is the arthritic joint pain, right? That's what's keeping you from doing all those fun things, and you don't want to get the surgery. It sucks.
You know what sucks?
You know what sucks?
Hey,
My
folks,
shoulder.
Erik Bilstad here. You know what sucks?
Here's how you fix your shoulder, and you don't need surgery to do it. You call QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics, advanced regenerative medicine that'll help you.
I broke pancake.
It does. Anyone who has bad joints, it's awful. And this is how you can fix it. QC Kinetics. They have a couple of locations here locally. You can get a free consultation. There's one in Mequon, another in Greenfield. Here's the number. Just call them and set it up. 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today.
From big tailgate parties to cozy dinners for two, the freshest ideas start with a stop at Century Foods.
Now through Wednesday, save on 6-pack 0.5-liter bottle or 7.5-ounce mini can selected varieties Coke products, 4 for $17. 48 ounces selected varieties Cedar Crust ice cream, $3.99. 4 to 12 count or 16-ounce selected varieties Halo Top ice cream or bars, $3.99. 45-ounce tub Imperial spread, $3.99.
Why'd you throw my glass across the room?
I have to keep practicing.
The vase from Aunt Sophie?
I'm warming up in case I get to take the mound at American Family Field. Read this.
Win the ultimate baseball fan experience at Century Foods?
You either get to throw out the first pitch, hold the finish line for the famous racing sausages, or be on the field during batting practice. My new TV!
Just doing a little batting practice of my own.
The ultimate baseball fan experience. Return the entry form found in the weekly ad to any Century by July 24th.
From removing unwanted clutter or junk to full-service residential or commercial cleanouts, get a free same-day estimate at twomenandajuncktruck.com. Keep what you love, ditch what you don't.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
WTMJ forecast sponsored by Dave Drake Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. High of 75 degrees today under mostly sunny skies. Just a chance this afternoon of a shower. And windows open again tonight. 62 degrees, your low.
So you're out on the alternate helmets?
I don't know that I'm out. It didn't strike me as, gotta have that.
So Packers Internet bloggers are all abuzz this morning because it appears via a Madden 25 preview video, that's the video game, of course, the football video game, shows the Packers in a white alternate helmet. So that it's like a color rush. They'd be in all white and their helmets would be white also. And this would follow along from another blogger who reported a couple of months ago that this was likely to happen. If you want to see it, just text the word helmet to the WTMJ Talking text line, 855-616-1620. So I told Vince about this, and you're kind of like,
whatever. You know what I like? I like watching football. I don't care what they're out there in.
I don't know. I'm glad that they're trying something different. Whether or not I like it, I don't know. I got to let it warm up to me. But I just try some new
things.
What
are the reviews there on the Talking text line?
It's been a whole but a meh.
Yeah, see.
It's been here. I'll let Pat Murphy of your Milwaukee Brewers define what the mood has been on the text line.
I'd say ill-advised.
But what sucks is the arthritic joint pain, right? That's what's keeping you from doing all those fun things, and you don't want to get the surgery. It sucks.
You know what sucks?
You know what sucks?
Hey,
My
folks,
shoulder.
Erik Bilstad here. You know what sucks?
Traffic is brought to you by James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner.